up? What's up?
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, I'm ready.
Now do your introduction.
All right, guys, welcome to the newest episode of the Chucano podcast. This is episode 10. We skipped one last week for the 4th of July weekend. Today,
No,
in the
that
house,
was
we got
episode 10.
Liz
This is
Tina.
episode 11.
We got Liz Tina in the house. How you doing today?
Hello. Good.
And we
good.
got
Thank you for
Damian
having
Gray. Sorry for interrupting you
me.
there.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. So, how you doing today? Tell us about your day.
I was good, just regular Saturday. Did some working out, and now I'm here.
Nice. What about you, Damian? How was your day?
Same here, dude. I like my weekends these days. So
Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm the same way. So I am convinced that there is a fucking ghost inside our shop.
Wait, hold on, wait.
I am
wait.
convinced
So
there is.
oh, dude, I believe that.
we
dude.
can't disclose the incidents that happened, but we're gonna share with you guys this story. We kind of want your feedback on it.
It's a tripped out situation.
I swear it happened. He was there as a witness. I was there, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the boss there, and I was about to lock up. Me and him were alone. We closed all the doors. I start pushing the pin pad to make the alarm go on, and I keep getting this code, and it keeps saying motion in bay.
Yeah.
So, but we don't have motion detectors in the bay. I didn't think about it at the time. So it kept doing it. We're like, all right, cool. Thought nothing of it. We walked out. So a guy walks out behind me, pretty much with his hand on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And then we walk towards one of the doors.
So-
and then
As soon as I walk out, I hear some like it kind of sounded like a whimper. It was like a ooh, right? So I'm like, what the
Oh
fuck?
my God.
So I tell myself, I was like, that's not what I heard. And as I'm thinking that, I told Danny, I was like, dude, I think I just heard somebody crying.
yeah,
And
he
he's
turned
like-
around and he's like, I heard somebody crying, a moan. And at that moment, my body was frozen. I was like, oh my
dude,
Lord.
I
like-
had the chills like a
Damn, that's
motherfucker.
crazy.
So we didn't run inside,
Yeah.
but we walked very quickly.
Yeah.
And then we reconvened in the office and we just like kind of started talking
So
about it.
I told myself, I was like, okay, he's scared, so it's okay to be scared. All right, let's go inside.
And then
Let's
he's
get the
like,
fuck outta here.
Are you gonna lock it? I was like, nah, that's cool. Let's go.
We fucking leave. This is like at, I want to say like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
in the afternoon,
So it's
yeah.
not even in the. I was about to say the witching hour.
No, not the
or
witching
whatever.
hours. No. But there was an unfortunate incident that happened there a couple weeks before, and you know it's something that's happened previously before that too, and we'll talk about it more later after the podcast.
In
Okay.
person, yeah, we can't talk
Okay.
about it on camera
Yeah.
and stuff.
So it's
But-
probably just those energies left behind.
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
one, this one just seems to be one of those. It's like very subtle, very
Yeah.
very like, oh my god, I can't believe this happened. Don't even. I would think that this spirit wouldn't even know what's going on. So we started talking about it like maybe he's stuck.
Yeah.
Maybe he's stuck here.
Damn.
But
Yeah.
Can I hear you a little closer? Because you're kind of real far
Oh,
away.
okay.
But
Alright.
this fucking guy over here. So we go in the next day. We thought nothing of it. I got there a little bit late. I was doing some shit, but like he was just insistent. Like, hey, I'm just gonna chill. So then on Thursday we were gonna work on Friday, and he's like, I'm gonna turn all the lights off upstairs. And then I'm like, are you coming? He's like, no, I'm just gonna sit here. And I'm like, bitch, you're not gonna stay in the dark. He's like, no, I really need reconfirmation. I was like, all right, dude, but we hear some shit. Like, I'm gonna run. Like at this point, it's bad. Like, I don't know, maybe.
Well, it's because I truly want to be like, is there really something out there? You know what I mean? I want to see like you
Like if
know.
it's there, no,
Yeah.
for sure. Instead
well,
of
because
just,
like
yeah.
I mean, like I don't know if it's just my mind manifesting this, but I feel like I see like from my peripheral vision, like you know, energy, like a dark spot there, like somebody standing there, and I turn around, and you know, there's nothing there. Of course,
and
you know
I
what
do
mean?
too. I see it all the time at work.
I used to get that, like, believe it or not, like when I was 16 years old, I used to suffer from like sleep paralysis.
Yeah. All right.
And like one of the symptoms of that, I guess, you know, I would see like shadows and like figures and shit like that, dude.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It's definitely a thing because I lived in a haunted house when I was
Oh,
growing
Lord.
up, and
Yeah.
I would see the same thing from my peripherals. You could actually see a shape of.
Or you feel somebody, you feel somebody on you, even just tingling your shoulders.
Yeah, or even just that feeling
Yeah.
that like somebody's staring at
But
you.
it was
or something.
it,
Yeah.
it was super trippy. We like, okay.
I think
So-
if you just
We like,
stay positive.
okay.
Whoa.
This fucking
Be
guy.
okay.
You're so descriptive.
I feel like if you feed into the fear, it's it just
Like for me right now,
heightens
it's not a fear; it's more of a curiosity. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's,
Right.
it's always been well, I've never really believed in it. You know, I've never really believed in spirits. I feel like I saw one at one point,
Yeah.
But it might have.
So this time it was like shocking. You're like,
Well,
what?
this time I heard something. Okay, no, but I've been in a situation where I've heard things before, but this was in Juarez. So like, my ex-girlfriend and I were in a bedroom, and we were hearing like dishes like shifting, and you would hear different things, and you would see the shadows and shit, but I never really actually like saw it. You know what I mean? And we were convinced like, well, maybe it was like a mouse or a rat or something that moved the dishes or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's always been a curiosity, something that I really want to know for sure if there's something there.
I think and what I'm trying to say is that I'm afraid that because he's curious about it, right? Oh, and actually after that, the next day we were talking. Safety guy came, and we told him the story, and we're like, it's so funny because yesterday you were in the basement by yourself, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So and then he's like, holy shit, and then we're like, and then the afternoon it happened, and he's like, wow, I didn't even think anything of it. I'm like, can you imagine if you might have heard that? Because I have gone on the weekend. I'm the boss, so I've gone on the weekend and I've heard like a radio, but it's playing nothing but 50s music.
Uh-huh.
What?
Like
That's crazy. Yeah.
And if you move from one place of the building to the other, it's like the radio's walking with you, and then it'll be there. And
That's
there's a lot of
trippy.
bums around there, so I've always told myself it's probably a fucking bum. But
Dude,
then a
that's
bum don't
trippy,
have a
man.
radio.
Maybe they have one
So-
of those from the 80s.
I'm thinking my biggest
Big-ass
fear about it is that
If I
he's
was
gonna
home,
he's gonna want to go look, right, and there's
Yeah.
so much stuff you can hit yourself on, and he's gonna end up like hitting himself on the head or something, and like God, just freaking out about it or something. So it's always like wait, maybe you should stay by yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe it's a friendly thing, Hey, here's a complimentary radio station.
Well,
Yeah. This is the music I listen to.
So we kind of talked about it. And we're thinking maybe one of these days, because I do have keys to the building. I'm running the building, right? And maybe one of these days.
Why,
we
'cause
just
you're the
go all
boss?
night. Oh yeah, I'm the boss.
Okay, that's the
That's right,
All right.
bitches. They're not clocked in
making
right now,
sure.
so they can't. I can't say whatever I want.
Just
to
so they know.
But yeah, we were talking about it right after. We're like, what if we come in here on the weekend at night? And because I
Take
mean, maybe
Go ghost
we
hunting,
need
right?
to.
yeah,
Maybe we
take a
need
little
to.
voice
Yeah.
recorder.
We
You know
work-
what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
Maybe
We-
some
Yeah.
closure.
We work there
It's
all day, so
No,
like
but
we're
like
gonna have it on
it's,
our head
it's,
forever.
it's a scary building.
Yeah.
It's an old building, So if you go
Yeah, it's a
downstairs,
freaky building.
It's
Okay.
it's a tripped out building, So
Wait, is it like one of the buildings downtown or?
Yes.
it's a building downtown,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
damn.
are old.
So
Yeah.
we're currently looking for applicants who are willing to go ghost adventures or ghost hunting.
Well,
I'm down.
we got the
I'm
we got
down,
the answer
So
to that.
that, that's why I had reached out to you,
Yeah,
So
for sure.
we got our buddy Alan.
Alan, huh? Yeah, Alan's
Yeah.
always
He's-
doing
he's
the
a he's,
ghost
a
hunting.
he's a ghost hunter, man.
Yeah, he
I've
is.
actually cleaned up some files for him on some of his
You had some
his
EVPs
research.
and shit.
Yeah, man, I've
That's
cleaned up some
cool.
of them.
That's
That's
cool.
cool.
And yeah, there was some fucking legit shit. That
Hey,
he
so
caught.
we believe in it because I mean, I know Jacob shared a lot of times. He's heard a lot of things, even when he wasn't there, and he's showed us like, what the hell? Like the next day he'll come and be like, check this out, and the next day this, and we're like, so we're not like completely oblivious to it. We're not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I guess it's now how old we are and how we're gonna perceive it at this point. When we were younger, it was probably different. You know? what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
Do you guys have any any instances or anything that you guys can think of?
Oh yeah, I don't think either of us are really strangers to like paranormal stuff happening. I remember years ago I was working at this old place in the Northeast called Data Mark. It was right off Butterfield Trail and shit.
Oh, shit.
And I was a processor, so my job was pretty much like the night shift from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. to like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning. It was just me there. I was just watching a bunch of computer and shit. So I was there with that guy Adrian, who was my trainer at the time, and he would tell me, he was like, hey, the first thing I want to tell you is that you're probably going to hear some weird shit, and you're probably going to see some weird shit, and it's because there's a lot of weird shit here. So I'm like, okay, so like, what's up? And he says, dude, like, and this is stuff that I've experienced there too, like the whole call floor, the whole data entry floor that was there, like from like midnight to 3 o'clock, you would hear like clicking, and mouse clicking and like typing on the keyboards and stuff, and nobody would be there. I remember one of the most profound experiences I had was I went to the break room, like because it was night shift, so during my lunch I would just take a nap so I'd make it through the other side. But I was taking a nap pretty much. I turned the break room light off and everything, and my coworker walks in. He opens the door, he turns the light on, and he looks at me and he goes, hey. And I wake up. I'm like, hey, what's up? He goes, hey, how's your girlfriend right now? And I'm like,
What
the fuck? Like, that's a weird ass question, Like, this was back like 6 or 7 years ago, and like, I guess she's fine, okay. So he goes to the fridge, he looks in it, and he closes it, and he just walks out of the door. I'm like, that's fucking weird.
That is very weird.
So like after my break, I go back and I'm like, hey dude, like, why the fuck did you ask me about my girlfriend right now? And he's like, what are you talking about?
Oh shit.
He's like, I've been here the whole time, like. I'm
Oh,
like, are you
shit.
serious? He's like, well, like company policy, like there's only 2 of us in the building, and
Only
one of
one's
us,
allowed to walk around.
yeah. It's like if one of us is gone, the other one has to be here. And
That's
I'm like,
awesome.
fuck. So I'm like, you didn't just walk into the break room right now and open the fridge and shit and ask me about my fucking personal life. He's like, nah, man, I don't know.
I have,
And then
I
if
have
you
one too.
if he was brand new, so how much had you guys already known each other when that happened?
I was already working there for like 2.5 months. You
See,
know,
so that's not long enough for someone asked that much of a personal question. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
if you guys had been homies for years, they'd be like, "All right, fucker, you're playing with
Well,
me."
it's because he was so much older than I was anyway. There was kind of like we didn't really talk about,
Yeah, he was
like,
very calm, collected, very
yeah, but that was like a whole ass apparition, man. Like showed up to me looking like
Yeah.
somebody that I knew, which was weird. But I heard like a lot of ghosts or a lot of spirits will do that in order so they can communicate with you better, because I don't think they really want us to be scared. If they want to communicate, they want us to feel at least a little bit, So,
That's cool, man.
Or it was a shape-shifting reptilian asking you about your
dude, I'm
girlfriend.
telling you. And that whole building, man, is crazy anyway. But yeah,
What about you?
Go,
Tell
Liz.
us the story about you.
Well, this one isn't really like a ghost story. It's like I don't know exactly what it was, but some years ago, probably like 5 years ago, I was staying in San Antonio with my ex-boyfriend's aunt,
Yeah.
and the aunt told us about a light that would appear in front, like the front door, and we were staying in the room that had that light that would appear. She showed me a video. It was a light. She thought it was an angel. I don't know. It's like a glowing light. It looks like an orb in this video. But one night, I was sleeping, and I woke up at like 4 a.m. because I had like tinnitus. Like
Oh,
my
shit.
it
I have
was
tinnitus, yeah.
mean.
Your ears are just
Like it
both of them
hurt.
or just one?
Both of them.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! That's
I
kinda
could
weird.
not hear anything, so I tried to wake up my boyfriend. At the time, I was like, I can't sleep. Like I can't hear
Help.
anything.
Oh,
Help!
God.
Yeah, he didn't wake up. Okay, and I was like, fuck, I can't sleep. It was like 4:30. I don't even remember. So I fall back asleep, and then I wake up again, but it was like 3 a.m, and I saw this time in the clock that was on the dresser. So it wasn't on my phone, and
Yeah.
I was not dreaming.
Nobody could have fucked with it.
Nobody could have fucked with it.
Jesus.
So I don't know. Like I went through some fucking
Time travel. You
time travel.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was trippy.
That's tripped
I don't know,
out.
aliens.
Yeah. I believe in aliens. Hell yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
me
so check it out.
Yeah.
I was a little kid, and my mom and dad had got us bunk beds. This is probably the first time I ever felt anything. My mom and dad had got us bunk beds, but remember back in the day, the wooden bunk beds, they weren't completely built together. You could turn the bottom one
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
put a dresser and shit,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we had that. So I had the top bunk, and I always remember my brother would always get in trouble at school for bringing bad grades. So then what he would do was come home and pretend like he was asleep. And then I'd turn in the report cards to my dad, because my dad would get mad and spank us. So we'd always do that. But when he would do that, he would always go on the top bunk in hopes that my dad, after seeing his report card, would be like, oh, he's asleep, I'll beat his ass later. Forget about it, right? But this one time we're chilling, and one of these incidents happened, and my brother's like, fuck, you get it back up to your top of the bunk bed. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And his bed was sideways.
Right.
So I'm up there, whatever, I'm sleeping or whatever, and I keep hearing thunder and rain, whatever. And I don't know what enticed me to, but I put my hand down right next to the bunk bed. I put
Yeah.
my hand down. I just kept doing it. It was like, it must have been like 1 a.m.
Sure.
And I
Yeah.
felt a man hand grab my hand, and I pulled it up. So of course I roll, and I
Yeah.
look at my brother, and he's asleep with his head this way.
Oh my god.
And I remember I
That's
just laid back down, and I was like,
And it was like a man hand, like a.
it
bigger
was a
hand.
fucking man hand. You
Oh
know
god.
when you're a
La
little.
mano peluda.
I was probably like 8 or 9,
Yeah.
and I just I'll never forget, because my hands are like that now. It was like a
Yeah.
calloused man hand,
Oh my god.
and it was like I
that's
kept
so
doing this, and it
creepy.
just went like that to me, like.
Remember that episode of Jerry Seinfeld?
Oh shit! So I don't know if I've already mentioned this one, but one time we went to we wanted to set up a show at this sports bar in Central. Me and Charlie Rock.
This happened to all of us.
And what do you remember what that bar used to be called?
God,
It was kind of like a sports.
it was a sports bar. Because it happened to you, it happened to Josh, it happened to me, and it happened to Charlie. Because me and you went to go run town after that, and we just clarified
Yeah.
that this last time. But
Yeah.
tell your story; it's freaking awesome.
So me and Charlie go, and we go to this bar, and my buddy's he's a manager, and he's like, yeah, bring your guitar, and I'll get you to talk with with the owner, and we'll see if we can get you guys a gig here. And we're like, yeah, cool, that's all right. So we went, and we were hanging out, and my buddy that's a manager, he gets us a round of drinks, and we sit down at a table, and we're just talking, me and him, and we turn around and we see that Charlie dropped his drink. And we're all laughing at him like, yeah, what's up, fucking Steven spills beer, yeah, you fucking asshole, you know?
Right.
And he's like pissed, and we're like, hey, it's all right, dude, we'll get you another drink, no big deal. And he's like, it's all right. So we went outside and had a smoke, right?
Yeah.
And Charlie's like, I didn't drop that drink, dude. Like, I had it in the middle of the table, and I saw it slide off. And I was like, wow, you probably just hit the pillar down in the bottom of the table, and it probably just moved. He's like, nah, man, like that didn't happen. So he was like really worked up about it, right? We're like, all right, whatever, fuck it, you know. So we go back in.
I would be too, man, if that shit happened to me, man.
So we go back in, and we go to this little round table, and my friend's like, hey, man, go ahead, man, bust out your guitar. And I met the owner and everything, and she was really cool. So I'm sitting right here, she's sitting over here, Charlie's in front of me, and my friend's behind him. And I started playing the song or whatever, and I had a Budweiser at the time. I don't drink anymore, but
You remember what song you were playing?
No, and it was on a coaster in the middle of the table. And as I'm playing and we're all watching, my fucking drink just starts falling. Boom, and then it slides off the table, and Charlie catches it midair, and he slams it on the fucking table. Fuck you, Ghost. And we all just look like,
Hey,
and I just finished the song.
I think the
and
bar
it
was
was what it
called
was.
Second Goal.
Second goal?
Yeah.
It was on Piedra.
Fourth and goal.
No. Fourth and Goal was all the new shit. That's right. And that's what I was thinking. It was called Second Goal because it was right next to the Girls Next Door. Because we used to play the Girls Next Door all the time, dude, on Piedras. I think it was called Second Goal.
I don't know.
It was it was in a cheesy bar. And mind you guys, if the bar's at an angle because the street's coming down, they wouldn't leave the tables like that. They were all shaded out. Like, we know that. So that happened with him, and then a couple weeks later.
And then at another table, though? or was it the same table where
No. It was around that same area in that corner right where the stage was
All right,
open.
guys, I figured it out.
It happened.
This is what it is. It's a conspiracy by the fucking bar. They fucked up those tables so those fucking drinks
Just
could
fall,
purposely
and then
fall.
you could get
Yeah,
another
they could
one.
buy more.
You have
Yeah.
to buy another one.
Yeah.
No, but that's not true. That's not true.
Like Scooby Doo.
Because when it happened to Josh Gonzalez, Gonzo's brother.
Shout out to our boy Josh.
Josh, we're supposed to get you up here soon. It happened to him one time. We're there doing something or playing or whatever, just hanging out, or maybe even karaoke, and his beers kept falling. But when Jacob told me the story, I was like, well, fucking, that makes a lot of sense.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, all those buildings out there are pretty old, man. You know.
Yeah, they're more than
Who
100
knows?
years old, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
I
that's
would
no
fucking-
excuse,
I would
man.
get a house
That's
over
no
there,
excuse.
man.
Fucking Ouija beers
Dick.
and shit, you know?
That's no excuse, Dick. Hey, while we're here fucking around, what's up with the hat?
Oh,
What does it say? What does it represent? What is that all about?
So I brought the hat for you guys actually today. You guys can keep this one.
Nice.
It's for
Dibs.
Hot Shot Kixxx. man.
Hey, bitch, we're gonna fucking.
I already
We're,
said
hey,
it.
we're
I
gonna
already
be
said
no. We're gonna be gentlemen, and we're gonna paper scissors rock it like gentlemen, bitch.
Well,
you know how we
no,
do it.
he gave it to me.
I've known them the longest.
He gave
So
it
It's
to
a good
me.
way to
Thank
settle
you, Liz.
things.
You can do
not
that.
only have I known them the longest, I've played with them multiple times.
Damian
More
walked
than all of
in
you.
and handed me the hat.
Look,
so that's where it goes.
look.
It's what it
Be a
is.
gentleman, because when we do paper scissors rock for fucking shotgun, we all comply.
All right.
You cannot do that.
I'll get it
True,
this
true,
week. You
true.
get it next week. Jay gets the following.
I fucking drive. Fuck both of you.
All right, then.
It's because when we go to lunch, they have to paper scissors rock for shotgun.
All
so
right.
it's only the proper thing to do, right, guys?
Yeah.
Plus, I really like the pink. I'm
Hot
a pink
Shot
kind of guy.
Kixxx.
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
so Hot Shot Kixxx. Who is that? What is that? Tell us.
So this is my band, Hot Shot Kixxx.
Nice.
Actually, they've been around the music scene for locally here for like 5 or 6 years already. I barely joined up with them about like a year ago.
Nice.
I do bass and vocals for them. Juan Villalobos is the only main member of the band.
Cool.
That's
The
left.
original
The
member.
right, the original member. We've got another man. His name is Choco Ponce. He used to do like ska music in Juarez and like all over Mexico.
So
and
what
shit.
is it? What kind of music?
So this is like kind of like a heavier alternative progressive rock kind of vibe to it.
All right.
We have a new music video that we just put out a couple months ago, and I'm really proud to say it's got like already 200,000 views. So
Good.
Oh, yeah,
dude,
Very
we're
good.
really,
Fuck
really,
yeah.
really
Great,
stoked
dude.
on it.
Congratulations.
So we have a song called Tadpoles, which is the music videos. Yeah. So we filmed it in Juarez, which was my first time
Nice.
going to Juarez, which is about like.
Were you scared?
How was your experience?
No, I wasn't scared of the first.
There's a tripped out vibe to Juarez. There's actually a every time I go, I feel this weird energy there. You know what I mean? And it's intoxicating to me.
It's interesting, yeah, for sure. The first place we went was fucking Crisostomo for some burritos.
Nice,
and
hell yeah.
Dude, they were the best fucking burritos I've ever had. But we spent a total of 2.5 days over there filming, and it was really fun, man.
That's great.
The whole film crew, Cabe Tejada, was he's from Juarez.
Yeah.
So it was a really cool vibe. All the actors and everything were hired from there, and we were able to get everybody paid like really well. It was just a fun vibe, you know.
Nice. Hell yeah.
We can't show the video right here, but we can play a little bit of the audio. Would that be cool
Yeah,
with you guys?
do that. You know what, dude?
sure.
I can't wait to. I'm gonna check it out. And you know what? It sounds really familiar. That sounds very, very familiar. That the band name and all
It's
that.
a really
Does
cool
it?
video. You guys will like it.
Yeah, I mean they've been super active. We played for.
I'll put the link in the description of the podcast.
Thank you, appreciate it.
We're gonna hear a little bit of this song called "Tadpoles" by Shot Kixxx.
So.
This was all filmed in Juarez.
It sounds really good. Oh, that's badass, dude.
Are you slapping or using a pick?
No, I'm.
You're slapping.
Okay, are you on vocals?
I'm on bass.
But you're not doing vocals. You're doing
Doing
lead.
lead?
Yeah, it's one with guitar and vocals, and then I'm on bass.
But you're not doing any vocals on this
No,
at
no.
all.
Hey, hold your questions till after.
It's a tripped out video.
That is very cool, man.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna put the
That's
link
enough.
in the description if you guys
That's
want to
for
go
sure.
check out the rest of that
That's
video.
fucking badass,
Yeah, thank you guys
dude.
for checking it out, man.
That is really cool, man.
Yeah, guys.
Appreciate it.
Once again, that song's called
Hell yeah.
"Tadpoles" by Shot Kixxx.
Yeah, so I mean, we're
And-
already planning other videos, man. We've got another video that's already finished. That Liz was also like part of the cast.
production?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, the cast.
Oh, the
like,
cast?
Yeah, she's actually played like a
Oh, the
main
video?
character. Yeah, she
Nice.
played a main character in the video. And then we're trying to stay busy, man. We're already like in the studio making, writing new music, recording new music, and I just can't wait till we can play another show. You know?
Yeah, dude, that's what
I
I'm
just
waiting
wanna
for. I'm
play
itching for
shows.
those fucking shows right now. But how about you, Liz? You want to talk about any music that you're working on right now?
Yeah, I've got one song that's finished. I just need
Nice.
to release it. And then the second song, I'm still kind of working on it. Like, I got the finished product, but I wanted to add something to it. And yeah.
Take your time.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm
Take your
taking
time,
my time with
'cause
it.
Us as artists, we all know that we'll do something and then we'll finish it and then we'll hear it after years later and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about. I think earlier last year you released a single.
Yeah.
And it was a really cool single release party and everything, and I got to go hang out with you out there.
Yeah. It was for instant gratification, and I got a YouTube video for it and everything.
So that's you guys could find that on Liz Tina Music on YouTube. Do you mind if we play a little bit of that one too?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, get a little insight on that one as well.
For sure.
So, don't mind the fireworks in the background, guys.
I've seen this video before. Was it the same person who did your video?
No, it's
different.
separate.
Is it sounding right? Is that how it starts with a lot of reverb like that?
It didn't really start that much reverb, but now, yeah, it has a lot of reverb.
Sometimes it's this. Sorry about that, guys. This is Instant Gratification by Liz Tina.
I like the visuals. It looks fucking awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I just had a friend do the, like, I told him, I just want a projector, put some cool stuff. And I was just like, yeah. It's pretty simple.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, we need to start looking into getting our.
So I got two comments or two things I'd like to say about it. Number one, it reminds me super duper of Milo Green.
Oh, I love Milo
super
Green.
duper. Have you heard that?
No, I have
Modison?
not.
Oh my lord.
Milo Green.
Yeah, when you get a
Milo
chance,
Green.
get on YouTube and just put in Milo Green Modison. Just watch the whole thing. It's
Okay.
So the Jake knows the whole story about how that happened. But hold on, before you say it, and then while he's telling you the story, I want you guys to think about it. You're a musician and you're a musician. You guys live together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How the fuck does that work? Because you might
I
go
know.
into one room and be like, "Bitch, back up," and he's in the other room slapping a bass. Like,
Yeah,
You know
and
what
we
I
make
mean?
it
Like,
work. Separate times that we.
because you
spend,
would you
yeah.
would think that at some point since you guys are together and all that, you would mix your music, right? But then you have your
And they
own,
did.
and then he has his own. And like,
Yeah.
I had never heard anything you've done more than the acoustic stuff until right now. That's why I was like, holy shit, that's really
You know,
good.
that's actually very funny because we actually started out doing music together.
Yeah.
And then we've kind of like separated.
Went
done
on your
our
own thing?
yeah.
That particular project, was that Coyote Blue?
That was
That was Coyote
Yeah.
Blue.
That's
Yeah.
freaking cool, man.
I was super excited about it. I remember the first time that we had really met as musicians was at 306 Studios.
Oh, nice.
And Richie Marufo was the one that was like,
Oh,
"Hey,
yeah.
you guys."
Shout
like,
out to Richie,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, man. He was like, "You
Yeah,
guys should
Richie
do
was
stuff
okay.
together, you know."
I
And
know.
and
Do I know him?
yeah, I saw her perform and I fell in love with the voice instantly, you know, right away. And I was like, "Yeah, man, let's do it."
That's
You know,
fucking awesome.
it
So
was
then
my
you
first.
threw down your game right then and there.
Oh yeah, it was. It was also a time where I was very new into the music scene as well. So it was like a collaborator. Hell yeah, you know, let's do it. You know, like. So it was just one of those things where I was so excited to be part of something, you know, bigger than myself. And I think you had felt the same way, and we came together and we found out that we shared a lot of the same musical interests. And yeah, man, I guess the rest is kind of history because
So I got two questions for you. All right. What kind of bass are you currently using right now?
I'm using an acoustic bass right
An
now.
acoustic
Wow.
bass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
like
is that?
what's
like
your
from the
dream bass?
brand acoustic
That's why
or
it's
what?
got choppiness to it.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, just a regular acoustic bass. And funny thing is, I've actually like been so fluid with my instruments to where like I lose a lot more than I've had. I've gone through so many instruments just from
Oh, we've all done that.
you know losing them from moving or having
You
to
change,
Yeah.
having to sell them. You
Yeah.
know,
You
like
sell
a little
one, and
tear.
yeah, dude.
And
I-
it just gets easier and easier, you know. But
I have two basses that I sold that I really, really regret selling.
dude,
I told him that he
I
would.
had an
I have one.
I had an Epiphone Thunderbird at one point that we ended up having to sell. I had an Ibanez that was really nice. But yeah,
I'm actually pretty good about keeping my stuff. I'm very, very
You are.
stubborn.
I'm the opposite.
Like,
Yeah, me too.
even
I'm
if
like
I
you,
need
Nope.
the money,
Nope.
I'm like, mm-mm,
Oh, I'm
I'll
not.
struggle.
I'm not.
I'll
I've
starve.
I've always
whatever.
seen it. I've always seen
Yeah.
it like it's something extra. It's like credit for me. Like if I need it, I can use it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I can always get another one. You can
That's
always get
true.
another one.
Yeah.
I'm just
But I've
very
lost some good
sentimental, I
shit.
think.
There's
I think
some
I'm
that
like,
I'm
no,
there's some
it's
that I'm very
fine.
sentimental with. But like for instance, I had this one guitar that I actually fixed up when I was with Elotix. I put a what were they called? Dark Invader, Seymour Duncan Invaders in it.
Okay, yeah. that's
Okay.
In
good.
this
I
in
know
this
what
one this one Epiphone, and then I had when the guy did the wiring on it, he flipped my volume pot and my tone pot on all of them, so they were backwards.
Okay.
And I did this so that in case someone ever stole it,
You
I
knew
knew
it
that I was
yours.
the only one that ever had it. But I didn't want to let it go because it was so important to me because it was I made it for myself.
Yeah.
But I also let it go because I was like, well, Lotix ended. I'm not playing with them no more. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want it. But till this day, I'm just like, God, I would love to just get it and just jam on it and get the same riffs that I used to do. So
Right.
that, you know, just kind of
But-
bring it
Yeah,
back
And
up.
You
I
know,
bought him a
sometimes-
timbal too, and he just gave that up too. So I guess that wasn't sentimental.
I
but
mean,
that was
sometimes
alright.
it's okay to like, cause you get better, you get better stuff. So sometimes it's good to turn something in to get something better.
Well, I let the timbal go because Jacob kicked me off drums.
Well, I had found on this badass fucking.
He's the one that chose to
He's
go to
so
guitar.
upset.
The red Schecter? You're gonna talk about the red Schecter?
I found a badass red Schecter Diamond Series at a pawn shop for $200.
Wow.
And I was like, that's a fucking steal. So
Wow.
like, I wasn't even planning on buying a
Gold.
bass, and I bought it that
All
day.
gold
Right?
inlays, all the gold, everything was
Awesome.
well, you know, it looked gold.
The tone was phenomenal. He used it for all of our recordings on
Yeah.
our first
Really?
EP.
So like, I was like, I need a 5-string bass, like a huevo. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
want a
for sure,
5-string.
for
You know?
sure.
So I sold it to get a 5-string, and I'm like, that bass had so
Which
much
five
fucking
did you
tone.
get after that?
I got the chord.
He got the court.
I'm
with-
grateful
oh,
to
the yellow one?
I'm grateful to Juan a lot too because because a lot of the music was written before I got into the band, so a lot of the music from the Devil's At It Again is written on a 5-string bass. So that was something that I had to learn, you know. Damn. But it was cool, man. Like
are you standard E or you drop D?
Drop D on some songs, yeah.
But it's a standard tuning.
Yeah, it's a standard tuning to where it's I think the 5th string is on A, right, or B.
It's a B.
Yeah. And then what about musical inspiration? What do you listen to, like?
Oh, dude, when I was real young, I kind of guess diverse music goes, because I listened to a lot of Santana, but then my dad would always play like
as a kid, what got you going? Like, what was like, fuck, this is dope. Like, you can't stop listening.
Dude, Santana for sure.
That was Jacob too. Jacob, you're about Santana for a while.
Yeah, dude, I was an oldie head since the beginning.
No,
man.
actually, you've always been an oldie head. Yeah, his influence is always.
I would go to the library and I would check out copies of Angel of Air, you know, from those old.
When you were able
to
20-minute, you know. Yeah. Remember that back in the day when you go to a fucking library?
Oh yeah, man.
Well, it's like right now I take bass lessons online through like Scott's Bass Lessons. He has a really
You pay for it?
Yeah, I pay for it. Yeah, it's a really good program. And then
I was considering it, but what I just do, I hardly even practice, but what I do is I downloaded this app. It's called Something Scale Pro.
Okay.
And it's like $5, dude, and it shows you all the scales, and you can just go in there, like whenever he tells me, okay, E minor, D, I just look up the scale. I already know the scales for sure, but you know, if I want to venture off anywhere, I just.
No, he hit me with it the other day. I was trying to do a solo, and he's like, "Look, this is the scale you got."
But I fucked up because I had it set up for the 5-string bass,
and then and I was like, "No, bitch, it starts here."
But it changes the game entirely, though.
It really does, yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
How about you, Liz? Influences from the beginning.
From the beginning. Okay, well, my dad listened to a lot of like Red Hot Chili Peppers and like a variety of music as well. So like, I was really fond of Red Hot Chili Peppers and the Beatles when I was really small.
Same.
But what got me going was like songs by Michelle Branch. So it was I would just.
I was a fan too.
You know,
as a kid, I'm not ashamed.
I have my I like some Kelly Clarkson songs.
Michelle Branch. She came out with Game of Love.
Yeah. Avril Lavigne. That was a guilty
like
pleasure.
Avril Lavigne too. Yeah, hell yeah.
Check this out. My boys know me too much. What's one of my biggest guilty pleasures?
Okay,
ever?
it's Natalie Imbruglia. That guy just
he'll like put it on repeat.
Sing Torn right now,
I will fucking cry, dude. I need it. No. I like the.
He'll put it on repeat, man.
I love it. It puts me in a place. But you know what? Listen to the bass line on that song. Listen to it.
I'll revisit it for sure.
Oh my lord! On Torn. Yeah. Just listen to it. You're gonna be like, what the shit?
I love that song.
So I listen to it now, and that's why it gets me, because I'm like, wow, they were doing something really cool, even though like some would say like, oh, that's some gay ass shit. Like I like it. Like it was written so wow. Like,
but I like that quality about music is what it means to you when you're younger,
and then you hear it again.
It's just like something that lives and breathes. You know, it means something different to you every way. Like I'll go back and listen to an old song from like Counting Crows or Matchbox 20.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I'll listen to the bass. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know they were fucking doing that.
You know what's weird too is like I never heard it either, man, until as an adult.
What's sorry.
Because what I was trying to say is that I feel like when you listen to music, a lot of people just listen to it, right? But like when you actually are a musician, and you're able to pull it apart. And as a kid growing up, I never really understood that, so I never really looked for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now as I guess as a trained musician, I guess you could say, I could hear everything, you know, and it's just, I love that.
So one of our biggest examples for that, for me and Jacob especially, is that when I was young, I used to listen to all the STP shit.
Oh yeah.
But now we're fucking playing it. And now I'm playing bass on it, and he's playing guitar. And both of us are always like hot-handed, like, fuck you, dude. We're doing all this shit. And we're just like, why is he doing all this and all that? And of course, my brother's a singer, so he's singing, and we're like, bitch, you don't even know what we're doing.
You don't understand what we're trying to do
like,
right now.
Check out this fucking weird chord with a pinky down here. Like, it's trippy.
Yeah. You guys played for my birthday.
Yeah.
But
you guys sound really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Really cool.
What's a guilty pleasure for you, Damian?
Give it the worst one ever.
Musically, I like Ellie Goulding.
Nice.
And like I used to listen to a lot of Ed Sheeran, like busking when I would go out and play on the streets for money and shit. Like I still do. I would play a lot of Ed Sheeran stuff, dude.
No, something a little more embarrassing, because that's actually good.
I'm trying to make me look not as embarrassed as I am right now.
Let's see. How far?
You can go like
Lady
Gaga
Darude.
status.
I used to jam out to Sandstorm all the time. Nelly Furtado.
No.
Oh, yeah,
no,
I'm
no.
down.
Yeah. Oh, what's her name?
That's
Yeah.
my shit. Yeah,
Do-
that's my shit.
Do
I don't
you
care. I
think
don't care what
you're
anybody says.
better off alone?
Yeah, that's Darude.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Oh, yeah.
Is that one?
With Better Off Alone.
You
I used
like
to
that
listen-
one?
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what?
actually, that's not.
I am all like
I
it.
fucking like that.
Actually,
one. That's a
that's
good
not
one.
a guilty pleasure, dude. We like, dude.
I
We're
think it
always
is. I
we're
think
always
that's
making
good.
like I'm always making my kids like listen to shit like that, dude. And the other day we were listening to like I don't know, some old shit came out and we're just like it's good, you know. And I'm like, I don't care what anybody says. Like if they had a mix, I would just turn it on, just jam it. Like,
You know what mine
man.
is?
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time, dude.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
dude.
one.
Okay, then I guess I could go Tears for Fears.
that's not a guilty pleasure though. Tears for Fears is
that's
It
mine
kinda,
though.
it seems like there's no guilty pleasure.
when in
Okay,
Rome,
well-
get out of here.
Right?
I mean, if
Let's
you
just get it all
if you
out
ask
in the
me,
open.
I,
Yeah,
you want
what's
a
your
guilty
guilty pleasure? I want to know.
I'll tell you right now, Jennifer Page, Crush. It's just a little crush, not like I faint every time we touch. I love that song.
Hey, do you remember what song was on
That's
the?
a guilty
You remember
pleasure.
what song was on the Night Storm or what was it? The
The Quiet Storm. Wanna get lost in love with you, do all the things you want me to.
we were
Yeah.
talking about it last time, and he's the one that busted out. We're like, wow, really, dude.
He's like the love we share.
Who's that?
It's so especial. Fuck
Holy
yeah.
shit! All right, so the other
No,
day,
yeah, something like that.
so
Tears
the-
for Fears. I love Tears
the
for
other
Fears.
day we were sitting in the. Well, we were at work, and then I sent some of the guys home because there was a lot of work to do. But we're waiting. We're literally waiting for some stuff. So
Sorry to interrupt. Can I go to the
Um,
restroom real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, dude, go ahead. We'll entertain Liz about this. And hey, Jake, are you going to the fridge? Okay, so we're sitting there and we're like, oh, I sent him home, right? I was like, go home, bitch. Like, I don't want you here. Well, he's not here. We're gonna talk shit.
Okay, that's okay.
But there's this old guy we work with. His name's Joe. He's like a fucking hippie as shit. So we're like, what do you want to watch?
Does he wear tie dye?
No. He's just a really old hippie, but he's like
Just his character.
he's so intricate. Like he wants to
Yeah,
sit there and talk to
he's
you
at
about
least what, like
everything.
64 years old.
No, I think he said he was 63.
63, yeah.
63 going on 64.
Yeah.
But he's like so intricate. Like he wants. If you start talking to him, like you're fucked. You're not gonna start. He'll tell you.
Yeah, he'll
everything.
tell you
Back
stories for days.
Back in my
yeah.
day, in '52, there was this one girl named Gina, and well, I ended up, with her friend, and then this and that. And
No,
blah,
I
blah,
don't
blah.
want one yet. You want an IPA?
Yeah.
Get one for Damian too.
Thank you.
So we're sitting there and I'm like, hey guys, well the chambers are gonna pop right now in about an hour. So of course Joe's like, hey, well I want to watch something on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, let's all sit together and watch something. So he makes me put on California Jam '74, right? And he's like,
We were off the clock though. We were
yeah,
totally
we
off
weren't
the
doing
clock.
anything. We were doing anything.
Totally off the
Jacob
clock.
was there. Jacob was there.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But he's like, oh, I want to watch the end of it. It was Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see it? Were you there, or had you gone to the store? But
I don't know,
anyways,
man.
what I'm trying to say about
I
it
tend to
is
disappear.
what I'm
every
trying
now
to say
and
about it is that so we're watching this old video with Joe, and then like they're fucking weird music. Like he has like an old school like synth, but it's like a tower with a TV, and he's got to turn knobs, and it's like.
Was that like the
Okay.
Winter?
This was Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then he runs away and he runs to this other part of the stage, and there's a full grand piano.
Oh,
But they had
shit.
bolted like a shaft in the middle, and he sits on it and he sticks his feet in there and he starts playing, and this piano just starts spinning and spinning, and I'm like, what the shit? This is
I've never seen that.
1974.
Getting down.
1974, California.
How did he know what keys to hit? If the
He
piano
was-
was spinning.
he was
Well,
lit- no.
It didn't sound like he was playing,
Cheers.
in the same key. So he was just.
He was doing his shit, but
Have a-
he had like a little entrapment to hold his body together.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hey, don't leave him hanging, bro.
Hey, did
Hold
you-
on. Hey,
did you
here,
see-
half a cheers. Here.
Did you see that?
It was really cool.
Dude, there's this YouTube video. This guy that plays
Hi-yo.
this whole song like on a marble machine, and he just winds up the marbles, and they just.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like he just keeps winding it, and they keep falling and hitting the same notes. It's trippy, man.
Yeah.
I had a
I have
dream
to use
that
the restroom now. I'll be back.
I had a
Who
dream.
gave her beer?
I had a dream that in the
Shit. Yeah, I know, right? Look at that.
She's stuck.
I had a dream that I had a dream in the future that like instruments would just be like water balloons kind of or something, and we just throw them on the ground and it'd make like the noises.
Really?
So
Have you
that
ever-
that you mentioned that kind of reminded me.
Have
of
you
that.
guys ever seen that? I don't know. Don't quote me on this. I'm not saying that's what it's called. Have you ever seen the sound stick?
The sound stick.
It's like a piece of wood, and then two sticks like that, and then it's a metal bar,
Oh yeah.
and then it gets plugged in and it has power. And what the person's doing, if it's a shaft like this, he has a stick.
Yeah.
Kind of like the rake on a. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and he goes.
And he gets close to it. As you get close to it, it changes it. So it goes all the. Oh, I just did that the other day. And then it goes like from here is like whatever note, and then over here is another note. But as he goes like.
It's an
I think it's called a theremin.
Yeah, it's called a theremin.
Yeah,
It's basically an oscillator.
Well, I saw this group come in and do that, and I was just like fucking. The whole time I was like, wow,
It's
dude.
like-
But this guy didn't just have it like that. He had a distortion, he had reverb, he had delay, everything plugged into it. So he can get all those effects. And when I first saw it, I was like, what the hell?
I think
dude?
Javi has one of those.
Oh,
the
shit.
theremins. Yeah, I think he just got one.
I try it.
I wanna see. I've
That's a real dedication to try to learn how to play.
Yeah, 'cause you gotta know
that type of
exactly
instrument.
where
never
you're at.
seen it live.
Oh, I saw. That's what I'm telling you. When I
Yeah,
first saw it, I was like, no
see
flipping
it.
way, dude.
We're good.
Do you
We're
guys
like a
believe it?
30.
You guys believe in that myth that if you put your finger in a beer, it makes the
The foam, it does go down, right?
does.
I
I've
noticed
done
it.
it.
Yeah.
Dirty before?
dirty finger, everybody. It's not working.
You guys were talking about the theremin right now. I was
There
actually
you
gonna
go.
say. I was
Yeah.
gonna say that's like the trippiest instrument that I've ever seen.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I s-
Oh yeah.
dude, when I
Yeah.
saw it, it was trippy. But this guy, I mean, when I saw it for the first time, this got a really trashy one. But I guess because they were on tour, but it was super long, and then he was doing
Yeah.
it, but he would like orchestrate, like he was doing orchestra, and he had all these pedals that was just like,
Oh, that's cool.
like it was bad as shit. I was like, damn, that's super cool, man.
What
Like,
a showman! I wish I could have seen that.
That's cool.
Do you guys got any? Like cool stories about any shows you guys have had, or individually or together, or anything?
Oh man.
I'm sure I can think of something, but I'm drawing a blank, so I'll let him go first.
I don't know.
Remind me.
I don't know if I have it. We've done some crazy shit to where we've had to play shows in downtown and then had to be in Las Cruces for another show like half an hour after
Oh,
that.
I fucking hate
oh,
that.
yeah.
We played a birthday party at, now it's a speakeasy, but it used to be well no, it's something else now, but it
It's
used
a
to
bar. It's still a bar.
be. Yeah, it used to be like Dillingers or like speakeasy. We played like a birthday party show there, and then we went all the way to El Barrio in New Mexico.
Oh yeah, I love that
once,
Cruces.
actually, I have
That's
a
in,
story, like a
Omisio.
crazy show I played.
Go.
I once played for a yoga class.
No.
So I was like just background music,
While
you
they
know,
were
like,
That's
yogaing?
dope.
but
Yeah.
while they were
That's cool,
yogaing.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
All right, wait, but have you guys ever thrown up on each other? Had got a
Oh,
flat
dude.
tire,
like
fought,
that.
anything cool?
We actually did coming back from Laredo. We're coming back, and then there's this little town called like Somerville or something where we ran out of gas.
Oh shit.
And we needed to
And
call
I was
a-
upset because I told him we need to get gas.
And
like
I-
a couple of miles before.
And you know,
the
I
whole
knew the
typical
car.
like
Yeah.
guy
You know,
girl
I knew the
Yeah.
car.
saying, guys don't take directions or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. So I told him, let's get gas. And
You
he
shouldn't have
was
said
like,
anything, because then he probably would have put gas.
I
No, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
No.
No.
So the state trooper
That's
came
funny.
and she gave us like a gallon just enough to get to the nearest
to the
city.
nearest gas station.
But I
Yeah.
mean, man, like we've had actually some really cool things happen to us. I guess the same city that we went to put us up in a hotel and like
Dope.
paid us, gave us food and shit. We've been like really blessed. I think when we would go travel, because everyone's just been super hospitable. Like I said, we got the opportunity to do a lot of things. We even played Street Fest
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Did we
That
do?
was
What did we
so
do?
much
18?
fun.
I did like who?
17.
You guys did?
Yeah,
you
we-
guys did one?
No, the Chucanos. When did we do the Street Fest?
Oh no, that was,
Was ours 18 or
oh,
17?
okay, yeah, Street Fest. I'm sorry.
Ours
Yeah.
was 17.
17.
I,
Yeah,
thought,
we did it
I
in
don't. I
2018.
honestly thought you guys said Balloon Fest. I did like
Oh,
3 in a
no.
row.
Oh, that's
God.
cool.
But no,
I
it,
never
When
did
it,
Balloon
it was
Fest,
cool, but it was so bad because you'd be there and
It's
and
hot.
you'd start. No, it's hot. And
No.
then you start drinking, and then you get on stage. And, I mean, it was great. Don't get me wrong. Every year got better and better, but yeah, you
The,
get to
the
that
year
point where
we
you're
did the
like,
Balloon Fest
"Fuck."
wasn't that cool.
Who did Balloon
With
Fest?
us, the Chucanos.
We did the
We
Balloon
did it.
Fest.
Yeah, we did it. No, it wasn't Balloon Fest, but
It
it
was
was
Street
the
Fest.
Wet and Wild one.
It was like for Memorial Day.
Yeah, it was
Weekend.
supposed to be the equivalent to Balloon Fest, because they don't do it anymore.
Oh, okay, yeah, because they had stopped doing Balloon Fest, so they called it something else, and then we all went.
Yeah.
But it was cool. We got in through the back, and we were just moving our gear, just swimming all day. But by the time you're like, you get on stage, you're just like
We-
You're
we-
already
we-
tapped out.
We played a 420
man.
Fest down the street right here in Zaragoza, and this one comes to mind.
Oh,
Because,
fuck.
dude.
so.
Oh, wait. Be careful.
No, it wasn't. It's not to be mean,
Disclaimer or
but
what?
most of the
We almost broke up because of that
yeah,
show.
because check
Really?
it out. Okay, check it out.
Oh.
So most of the groups that they got
We
on,
lost a
on
member
that
from that show.
fest,
Oh shit.
it was all rap groups, but they
Yeah.
didn't make it clear. I mean, 420 Fest, obviously, I think it was like potheads and that. And they should have made it very clear, like half rap and then half this
Maybe
and that.
reggae
And then
or, you
it
know,
was.
like
Oh, then besides the fact, it was during the fucking week, so we were out there.
It was
We're
on a
getting
Thursday.
ready to play, and we get on stage. I'm not gonna say no names, but one of the fucking members was like, "If they don't sound check us, I'm not gonna fucking play." And I'm like, "Bitch!" So I was drumming at the time. I had to throw my mic forward. I was like, "Come on, guys!" Like, and then after they get off, he started talking to this guy, and this guy's "fuck you," and then the girls got mad. It was just it was a bad situation.
Yeah,
we played like at
I
1:30.
It was the
On
sound
a
like an
Thursday.
issue
Oh,
as well.
but that
Yeah, it was
I
horrible.
hate when that
Yeah.
happens.
But what
I've
happened?
had, yeah.
though?
Okay, here's
No,
what
hold on,
happened.
but watch.
Here's bad.
Go ahead and tell your part.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mention a little
tell
bit.
your part.
I'm gonna mention a little bit. So it's a food truck little lot that we're playing at, and it's on a Thursday. So they have a permit to like sell beer up to 12.
Okay.
Okay, once 12 hit, everybody left, and guess who's gonna go on?
No
It's
way.
us. Okay,
We
but
didn't get
before
on.
before we get on, the group before us, they were like a rap duo.
There was some chick,
And then they
they're
brought
bad.
up another 4 guys. So all the mics went everywhere.
Wow.
So then he tried to put them all on us, and we're 7 of us. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're not just a set and go. Like there's a lot of us in the group in Chucanos. So we get up there. The guy doesn't know what mic went where. He's already lost on the mixer.
The mixer, yeah.
We can't hear ourselves. Danny's on the drums. He grabs his mic. He goes and he gives it to a other friend that's singing and stuff, our other member. It's just a big chaos.
which mind you, he is like just bitching the whole time, like, I'm not gonna play unless he's Sancho. I'm not gonna fucking play. I'm not gonna fucking
He's
play.
a diva.
Of course,
but we're like,
Jacob's
everybody's
like,
leaving.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm
dude.
like, everybody's leaving, guy. We gotta try to keep them, because if not, we're not gonna play to
Because
nobody.
there's nobody.
And
buying
we
up.
played to like a guy cleaning, and we played to like a security guard.
Are you serious?
Oh,
So,
man.
meanwhile, on Guyland,
He was high as fuck.
dude, I don't fucking. At the time, I hadn't smoked. I hadn't done any, marijuana in quite a while or whatever. And my keyboardist, he
Hey, watch
he
out,
gave me
your
a
bosses
piece.
here, bitch.
He gave me a fucking piece,
You're fired.
right? I had no fucking clue that it had
Random
THC
test.
in it, right?
Oh,
So I take it, right? And he's like, it's an edible, right? And I'm like, what the fuck, right? So
Oh,
I'm getting
yeah.
panicky, like, oh fuck, I'm about to, So like all this is going on around me, dude, and I'm like, what song are we playing? I don't know the notes.
Oh, that's so bad.
Where am I at?
Oh,
It
I
was
hate when
fucking
that-
weird, right? So like as soon as the beat dropped, everything came in. All my fucking like everything.
Memories,
yeah,
everything,
and I
just
was like
seems fine.
on point. I was like,
That's
oh, what
dope,
the
though.
fuck? Yeah.
That's dope, though.
Yeah.
Well,
It
who's do
it was-
that?
Well, like when
But then like a little fight broke out on in the middle of the stage. When I was in a fight, but it was a little diva tantrum and shit. And then yeah, it was kind of weird.
We're all there. We're all fucked up. Minus, well, I don't know if that guy was fucked up, but minus him, he was all mad. But all of us were like, "Let's go!" And he's all mad.
That's cool. That's
No,
how it should
I
be.
mean-
Yeah, I mean, you
Okay.
got to do that. How many times have
Yeah.
you played to like
to like one or
person?
two
Yeah,
people.
no,
It's still,
but
they
like-
still matter. You know, like,
especially as an acoustic musician, man. You
Yeah,
play for,
you
like, one or two people
definitely.
all the time.
we're so used to that. Like,
to defend his side, what was going on is that he is a full-time musician, and he's a soloist, and he did give up some gigs to come
To
and
have
play
that
this
gig, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
420
sure.
Fest, and it was just so poorly orchestrated.
Which-
Unfortunately, that year,
Which we understood. Which
happens
But we
naturally.
were also trying to convince him, like, okay, dude, but everybody here has a job, and it's already gonna be 1:00 in the morning. So just
Yeah,
stop
right.
bickering and bitching about
a
it, and let's get
weekday.
it done. It's Thursday. I didn't want to go to work on Friday all fucking crudo, like go to sleep at 3 by the time you go take the gear back home, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it was
But,
kind of hard
yeah.
to convince people like that. They don't know that. Us three are pretty much like the bottom baseline. We take everything with us. We take everything back. Everybody always leaves at the end. They're always like, "Oh, see you guys tomorrow."
and you find yourself sometimes working with musicians that really aren't super familiar with how to
It goes.
be in a band.
Yeah, how's
Right.
Like they're soloists, like they're good, like they're great, but sometimes you run into these type of issues as a group, and now it's just hey dude, it's not your call anymore.
so there's like this
Like-
lack of empathy, right? Like,
yeah,
from-
Yeah,
well,
like-
experience,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Especially the bigger you are. I mean,
Yeah,
it
like
gets,
like they
harder
can
to-
like they literally go like show's done, pack their shit up and like, all right, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
They that's how they know how to do it. But deep down, all of us are like, fuck, we still gotta go load all this.
It
shit.
just means something
We've
different.
had
to
our
you
own
guys.
PA forever.
Yeah, we've had our own PA since like
everything.
2003, man.
Wow.
You know,
So we know how it works.
we built our own recording studio from scratch. Like we built the whole building and
And that's
everything.
good because that's the way
Back
to do
in the
it.
day
It's
when we
better.
had a
You can't
different
really rely on
project.
anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
know?
got
So
you
that's
got
good.
We don't have it anymore.
you got the better insight on it. You
Yeah.
know what to expect and what to do.
We used to rent like a U-Haul for like $60,
That's
and
cool.
we would like take all our
Your
gear to like Heine's on the freeway, and we'd move all the fucking tables and like
Oh,
we'd set
yeah.
up all our
yeah,
shit.
we would get there and then still have to move everything out of the way. Well, what we would do at the
You
end,
have to wait for people to finish eating.
yeah,
and shit.
at the end, what we would do, because at the time, Oscar had the 2 openings where you could go down. So what we would do is when we get down and just start throwing tables down, we just put them into a corner.
Yeah.
Because before we used to like, hey Oscar, can you move all this stuff for us? And then we just got to that point where we're like, fuck you, and
Yeah.
we started doing it. And then we'd set up our 2 big subwoofers, our 2 big towers, and then our 1 little monitor and all the gear. And at the time, we were rocking half stack, so it was like,
and we were in high school.
Oh, shit.
We were doing all this in high school, so it's not like any of our friends were old enough to go and check us out.
sure.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So we would end up like paying like $70-$80 for the U-Haul and only making like $20-$30.
maybe.
You know.
But we used to pack some shit. you
And
know?
back in those days, there was no alternative scene. Like when I came home and I saw all you guys here and doing your thing, like it like made me so happy because in my heart, we played heavy music. We played kind of heavy, but I always liked to sing, so I was never really. We used to do all the scream shit and all that back in those days.
It had that punch, but,
but we always had
that
the
soft
melody.
side.
You know,
Yeah,
we
it
always
also
had the
that
melody
soft
and
side.
stuff. And we didn't really have a lot of bands to play with. Like
And we got
Yeah.
criticized for that shit.
people
all
used to
the
fucking shit on
time,
us
man.
all the time.
El
Really?
Paso's
We would
like a
see,
big
like-
metal.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
super
Okay, but-
metal, right?
Yeah.
So then like these dudes would like be dancing like ballerinas in front of me while I'm playing, and I'm like, dude, I'll fuck you up, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go back to this incident that you guys probably have never heard about it because we've talked about it in other podcasts. But when we were younger, we would play at Skate El Paso.
Skate El Paso out
And
there.
at
in
the
north.
time,
Yeah,
at the
that's-
time, Screamo was like super big. Like
Huge.
Soma was
That's
huge.
before I even came to El Paso, I think.
Soma was
Yeah.
huge. Fucking Fall Sobriety was huge. And they would go and play, and they were okay, and they were content with their little 30-minute
Yarbrough.
sets. Yeah, but Yarbrough was not like that at all.
No.
Yarbrough
They
was
were
not
cool.
that. Memo was super cool. He always talked to me very well, but these guys would start playing, and then they would start their shit. Oh, I love Chevelle. Like, we're playing. We're kids. And they would do that shit, and me and him would always like, what, motherfucker?
And then like they would look at me and be like, "Yeah, man, I like Dashboard Confessional." I was like, "I'll fucking fight you, dude." Like,
Yeah, we used to get
but
into
we never
shit
got
all
any
the
love,
time.
man. So then we moved out. We moved out of town for a few years, and then when we came back, all of a sudden, like those mobiles and fucking what was Hoppa's band, Low Luster League, and all these guys were here, and we were like, where the fuck were you guys, man?
Yeah.
We really
Back us up.
we would play 4-hour shows without a break of nothing but original music because
Once in a
if
while.
I stopped,
we'd-
if I took a break, I'd lose my voice.
Yeah.
So we would just go 4 hours by ourselves playing at Bombardiers
couple minutes in
or
there,
somewhere, and
yeah.
then
That was
like
fun, dude.
we never
We're
had
talking
anybody,
about
man. So
Venues and bands I've never even heard of before.
oh,
you know,
dude,
it's
Surges, the Peanut Gallery, the
Oh,
Peanut
dude,
Gallery was haunted
we did,
too.
Yeah, we did Surges. The Peanut Gallery was super cool. I'll never forget one time. I guess the owner, he let his son run it, but it was over there on Pershing, on the
Pershing.
corner of Pershing and Trowbridge, I believe.
Okay.
Right? Something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But we got there one time. We were super excited. We went to school. We got out of school. We're like, yeah, let's go load up. We got our U-Haul and everything. And we get there, and it's like, this guy's like, be here by 9, or you guys aren't playing, right? So
Okay.
we're there by 9 o'clock.
Was it a promoter guy?
No,
or-
he was
No,
the
it
owner's
owner,
fucking
okay.
son.
Oh, the owner's son.
So we get there at 9 and we're all waiting around like it didn't like till like 9:45 he shows up and then he
Yeah.
brings his key to the master lock and he's just like jiggling it. I can't get it open. And mind you, it's all of us in our group and all the people that came with us, and then Sabrosa and all the
Yeah,
people that came
we
with them,
used to
Yeah.
play
and
a
then
lot of
tied to
shows
the
with
wall
Sabrosa,
and all the
like,
people that came with
wow.
them. So then we get in. It's like 9:50. We finally get in. We start putting everything up, and then Sabrosa plays. And then Tied to the Wall played, and then we got up there, and mind you, again, it's just our family and our friends and all that,
Yeah.
but it was
But
just
still,
trippy. Like,
like-
no one wanted to go to that backside of the fucking bar.
It
Like,
was
I gotta
super
go
dark,
pee.
dude.
Like,
it was super dark and it was scary. And actually, something happened, and they're like, "All right, everybody out. Let's get the fuck out."
I remember.
Yeah.
Those
What
are the days
happened?
where we didn't give a fuck about our vocal cords.
Yeah, we didn't even know. At that time we didn't
Some
know.
like haunted shit happened, and they're like, everybody out, let's go, and we're like, okay.
Okay, yeah, and we had to break everything and get out. But yeah, like he's saying, we didn't know. We would just literally, like him and I, we've always tried to scream and backup vocals, and he didn't know. He would just, he didn't know. And now,
But I would do the higher pitch one. I was using the throat.
Yeah, and so when I got with the Logix and I started learning how to do it, once I learned how to do it, man, I wanted to do it for everything.
See, that's crazy, man. Because I used to be in this cover band that would do like a Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh,
and like
nice.
for my Valentine, I would do vocals and bass for that. So I mean, I've kind of trained my voice to be able to hit those like scream notes as well. But at the same token, I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like
But
nobody taught me.
there's an actual technique
once
to do
you
it.
know you got it, right? You were able to do it like on.
It's like experimenting, you got to figure out how to get,
With a Logix, they know, man. I would fucking scream for like 30 seconds. You know what I mean? But I was able to do it because I
tried
learned
it
how
once.
to.
I couldn't do it. I tried it once, like in high school, because my boyfriend was really into those bands.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, just try it. Do it."
You look
And
like
I
the
was
girl from Ginger. You can do it.
That's funny.
I
That's
was like,
funny.
She's fucking bad, dude.
Well, the
Wow.
first time we were exposed to that was Kitty, man. When we
Yeah,
heard
it
Kitty
was
back
Kitty.
in like 2000, and they came out with a song called Brackish.
Oh shit.
Was it brackish?
Yeah, remember that was from the first
Wasn't it
album.
Charlotte?
I thought it was Spit. I always
Charlotte.
remember
No,
Spit.
it was Charlotte.
Spit.
Charlotte
Yeah.
wasn't that the second one that was like a little bit more like melodic? Remember Brackish like.
But that wasn't
Look
the
at
first
Damian.
single, was it?
Look at
cares?
Damien.
Imagine.
Damien, Damien already digested that
fucking
whole
show
shit. Right there.
Hey, strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You remember? I had it on a tape.
Yeah.
I had that fucking.
So I remember
Kitty
this-
album.
I had it on actual CD, but I actually traded it for Toxicity. Yeah, or Toxicity. I
Well,
don't
when
know.
you used to carry on your little Walkman CD player?
Yeah.
You remember that shit? I was in high
I
school. I
had
had
one
the
too. It
bombest
was
one.
white and
done.
orange
Hold
and
on.
green.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mine was
Matching
white and
headset.
green. Mine was white and green, and I was like, "Fuck everybody," because you guys got the 15-second non-skip. I got the 30-second non-skip.
This is the skip
I got-
protection. Did
Yeah.
you have like a CD player or
Anti
Walkman?
skip. Yeah.
I bought
I had a
this.
CD player when I was like 13, 14.
It's
like,
because
a long time ago,
so
yeah.
back in the day, like it was like if you had the 15-second skip, like
Yeah, the
even
skip
if it skipped,
resistant.
it would it was a
The
resistant.
played CD.
But I had a
R and
30.
RW.
Yeah.
I had
Dude,
the
you
30.
remember the big ass one with the hand, like the hand thing that you
Hand
could
pocket,
hold it like
yeah.
that?
That was a
Yeah.
Sony. I think that was a Sony.
Yeah, that was the one.
So I bought this little Fender amplifier when I was in high school. Jake knows, and I would put it in my backpack. It was
Yeah.
a little mini amplifier with a battery, and I would just turn it on and turn my rig on, and
Yeah.
have a cable, and just be jamming in the halls
Air guitar.
That's super cool.
until the battery died, and then I would get all sad.
Aw.
I wanted to talk about I wanted to talk about an Logix incident, but now I can't remember because it was talk about Aaron. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's gonna be here next week.
Yeah, he'll be here next week. But I was just thinking about a time with him. We just okay.
So,
I remember.
yeah.
I remember. Sorry. So one time we went out to Las Cruces, and we're like, hey, let's go scout some bars out here.
We did the same thing.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
but
well,
hold
well,
on.
yeah.
We bought a fucking van, okay?
Aw.
We bought like a fucking Chevy. We bought like a Chevy Duravan, and me and Mikey spent days and days, and we primered it black. And then what we did was we cut out the Logix emblem on a paper, and then we put it up like this on the floor.
Oh yeah, sure.
We put it up here on
It's
the
fine,
on
you
the
can
floor with a
either
light.
way.
On the light, we put it,
Yeah, thank you.
No, I'm good.
and it projected the name of Logix on the van with a literally like imagine like a piece of paper, and then a light behind it. And then what we did was put the van there, and then we just like moved it until we got it perfect. Boom, it was perfect. Mikey, don't move. And then with the Sharpie, and I started tracing out the Logix part.
Yeah.
And then we taped everything off, and we did that in white. So the whole van on both sides says the Logix on it. So anyways, we go with this van to Las Cruces, like months later. We went to like all around where the fucking college is at. And we stopped everywhere here and there. And they're like, oh, they sell beer here. They sell beer there. I don't know who we took. We took somebody who was a little bit older. Or we were just in time. We bought all this liquor. And I'll never forget, we were driving back from Las Cruces like super duper faded. All of us,
That's
dude.
illegal, guys. Don't do that. Don't try that.
The
Very
fucking the
illegal.
van had no stickers.
Oh my
The
god.
power steering was all fucked up. We had bad
no.
tires. We had liquor bottles, beer all over the back. And mind you, I think Mikey was driving and Aaron, and we're all in the back just rolling around like, just jamming. It was cool, dude. Back in the day, dude.
You gotta get better on those punchlines, dude. Like
No,
you
no.
gotta land those fucking
I'm just
stories with a
saying.
bigger hit, dude.
I'm
That was a lot. That was like for that much payoff.
Well, it's because the van was really hard. It was really hard to paint that shit, dude. It was like working with an old school projector. You remember those?
So
old
I love that, dude. That's
Yeah,
fucking dope.
It was
though.
so cool, man.
That's fucking dope.
I
It
think-
used to be a lot more risky to do that. Now I don't think it's so risky because
Nobody goes anywhere because
and
of
the border patrol
yeah, that
checkpoints. I think
nowadays.
they're all shut down now.
They've been
so-
shut down for a couple of years.
Dude, like I don't know. Yeah, if anyone knows about traveling.
Yeah,
with-
man.
with
If
the
you guys got any
with
traveling
illicit
stories, let's hear 'em,
substances,
dude.
man. Like, not really. I mean,
Go use the restroom.
kind of talking about a long, time ago, a lot of drugs ago, a lot of beers,
Yeah.
I'm trying to reinvent my story. Like, if you were to tell me a memory about me that wasn't true, I probably wouldn't know the difference.
I've had an idea,
Hold on. Repeat it?
If you told me a memory that you had of me
Yeah.
that included me, but it wasn't true, I'd still probably believe you that it
Oh,
happened.
okay. Yeah.
You know?
I get you. Yeah.
Like the fucking that one episode of Rick and Morty, how they had like all
Yeah.
the imaginary people that they only had good memories with and shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I would die, man. Like
I have a bad memory too, and a lot of the times I do like pretend like I care, and I'm just like, oh yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
I've had this theory that musicians are a lot more susceptible to addictions and things like that because we have to be obsessive, and that's a human trait that we're not really supposed to have because
Right.
it's kind of frowned upon in society, right?
Yeah.
But you need to be obsessive if you want to get that note right, if you want to get that
Oh,
song
yeah,
right,
for
if
sure.
you want to
Michael
get that
Jordan, yeah.
pitch.
For sure.
So because of that obsession that we use in a positive way,
Mhm.
sometimes it can bleed into other parts of our lives.
For sure,
You know
for
what I mean?
sure.
Like I love fucking Rocky Road. I'll eat fucking Rocky Road until I'm done with it. Like till I'm like, ugh, I don't want it anymore. Like you know what I mean?
I like
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
I just think it's
I
kind of
like-
crazy to think
Yeah.
about it like as a musician like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you listen to any like motivational speakers, anything like that, but
Sometimes.
I've been following this guy called CT Fletcher.
Oh yeah, CT Fletcher's
for
the
a
shit,
while.
man.
I was a bodybuilder. Like
He
probably,
almost
like-
died.
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
He almost exploded his
Don't
heart,
start
but
your shit.
but he has this video where he talks about obsession, or he talks about if you want to be great, if you want to be the best at something, you have to be obsessed with the
Yeah.
idea of it.
And
you
that's hard to kind of contain that.
Do you think it's something you could manifest, obsession, or do you think it's something that it's automatic?
I literally need to get that fucking note
Oh,
right.
hell yeah,
And
dude.
you need to get it right
yeah.
because
I
I'll
think-
fucking kill you
I
if you
think it's
don't. Like
automatic,
that's how
yeah.
obsessed I am.
Jacob?
Yeah.
Jacob's
You know,
like
I'm super
Jacob's super
obsessed.
obsessed with that. But
Yeah, I'm
you know
super
what?
obsessed.
We've talked about it. Maybe when we were younger, we didn't understand. We were younger. It's like Jacob held a little bit more of a how do you say it?
Urgency.
No.
Standard?
When someone's way more mature, Jacob held way much more of a maturity back in the day.
He
Because
he
would
was
do
always
this.
wiser than us when we were
He
younger.
would
you know
always
what I mean?
do
He
this.
kind of raised us in a way.
He had, like,
Yeah, at least me
guidance.
for sure.
We're,
yeah.
we're, we're,
Yeah.
we're talking about
Yeah.
we were talking about it. He would we would go to practices back in the day. We would go. Me and him would sneak away. Me and Guy would sneak away right quick and then go smoke a cigarette. And if Jacob found out, he'd be like, "You guys are smoking in the back," and he'd get so mad.
I don't sound like Edward James
Which-
almost. I don't sound like that.
Hey, where you been at SC? But
That's not the way I sound.
that's not no. But Jacob carried this maturity to him about being real tight with the music, being on time, because of going with them and playing with them for so many years. I was able to push that on the other members. I've had Lodix, I've had Epica, and my thing is time, making sure everybody's right. I can record. I learned how to record. I started doing the whole Lodix album I did by myself. Well, we did by ourselves, and then we had somebody master it. But see, going through something like that, when I was younger, I was just like, this guy's just being a fucking douche. But now where we're at, he gets mad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we have a cover group. We're called the Dirty Sanchos, and he's very, very like, come on, if I have to learn it right, you fuckers learn it right.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people don't understand it, but now I'm like in my head, like, of course, dude.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't able to learn it right, trust, he would be like, look, bitch.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because you only want the best you can get. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And people stray away from that
I
because
feel
they think
like
it's cool. Like,
as a solo artist, I struggled with that a lot because it wasn't until I tried to start recording that it was like, okay, you got to know how to do this like on time. You got to get your own songs like on a tempo, And it's hard for like singer-songwriters or just individuals that just play by themselves with a guitar because they just, sometimes play by emotion.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
it just comes out.
So, like, one of the biggest examples, we went out to 306 Sessions. We went with, I can't think of his name right now.
With Benny Chang.
Yeah, Benny Chang.
Nice.
We recorded a song with him. So everybody's there. He sets up a mic for everybody just to get a ghost track, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And my drums at the time, it was like 1/4, but it would hit toms like boom, boom, God, boom,
I think we were there.
God.
No. We were recording a song.
Oh, okay.
So,
we did do a 306 Sessions with you
I
guys.
was
Shout out to
there
Benny.
at the-
That was like a few days before Christmas that year.
I still haven't seen
And
that
then we went
video.
back there because Benny, we worked out a deal
Yeah.
to record a song there with us.
Must have
Okay.
been like 3 or 4 years ago then, right?
No. This was like probably like
Maybe
last
two.
year. The
Maybe
year
two.
Like
before.
2.
Last year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, my point.
But
to
you
it
were
is-
there.
Was I?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lorena took you guys, remember?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but you guys were little space cadets
I'm
at the
telling you.
time.
I'm
Oh,
telling you, man.
yeah.
I'm not
You guys were
denying
just
it.
sitting on the top, just
No,
kind of
bro,
like.
we saw them at the corner
And I was like,
store.
well, that's weird. They're not talking to
We
us.
saw them
That's
at the
kind of
corner
weird.
store.
And you guys were just like,
But
hey, you
We
guys
were
are really
pretty
good,
high.
dude. Yeah.
But we
So-
really enjoyed it.
It's like
So,
that.
you guys, they were like, you guys are really good. We
So-
got to get out of here.
so we end up we're doing this song and we're all just like 1, 2, 3, follow, right? And of course my drums are boom, boom, bop, boom, 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 bop. But so then nobody could get it. It was all time. So then I told Benny, you know what? And I knew I got it. This comes from so many years of experience. I said, okay. So then I go, let's do it again. So then all I did was just singles. And the whole song was laid out. And he's like, how'd you do that? But didn't you do some Tom stuff? And I go, hold on. Now
No.
do it again.
Yeah.
And then I did my part. Boom, boom, bop, boom, 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 bop, boom, boom, boom. And everything followed.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, why'd you do that? I'm like, because I was putting shit in their ears at
Yeah.
that moment. And everyone was going like, what is he doing? Like, you guys haven't played this song a million times. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that came from...
Yeah.
Our
So
experience.
what was happening in that
Yeah.
particular instant is that when we all started playing at the same time to the click, for some reason we kept speeding up in certain parts of the song and we couldn't understand why. So
It
Danny
happens
was
to
like,
every-
I'm gonna
it happens
simplify.
Yeah, like he
I'm
almost
gonna just
made-
simplify
he almost
my
made
drum
the
set.
click. Yeah.
My drum
I
line
need.
really quick.
I always have to have it simplified as well. Like even
Yeah.
I just like
You could get as
That's the
intricate
way-
as you
yeah.
want. Once you have the foundation, go
Yeah,
ahead.
once
dude.
you have the
for sure.
template,
Go ahead and finish your guitars, add a fucking synth, add a bass, whatever you want to do. But just the main thing, the
Yeah.
main, the guideline. It's a
But
guideline.
I get what you mean though. Like when you're playing alone, like it's hard to keep your own tempo. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like you have to carry your own click track, and you have to actually like, have your own like rhythm. He does it a lot when he plays. He slaps the
Real
and-
percussive.
percussive,
Like
and
I'll hit the snare.
I do that.
Yeah.
I do that too with
Yeah.
with songs. Like that's something I do a lot just because I know I need a lot of work with tempo.
yeah.
It
So
becomes a
there's a lot
habit,
of times that
you know, like
it's so easy for me to just like do those taps on the guitar as well.
Yeah, what's his name from Jesus Christ? AC/DC.
From Jesus Christ.
From Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Is it Angus,
Jesus
Angus
Christ.
Young?
He's the lead guitarist.
Yeah.
AC/DC.
You remember how he would do this little swing?
Yeah.
So we started covering Roxanne. And the other day we're doing it, and he likes to count, but we're trying to get everybody used to not hearing us. 1, 2.
Yeah.
So I started tapping with my feet to my brother, and then my brother's like, what are you doing? I'm like, if you start learning how to tap with your feet, make a little dance,
And
it'll
then
put you right back.
Sometimes
in
it
that
just
hole.
like automatically like I've looked down before and it's like, oh, my
Your
foot's
foot's just
doing
going?
this.
Yeah.
What? I didn't even
Yeah.
notice. Like yeah.
And I have to hype instant gratification too, because honestly, like that song is, I feel like moving forward for you in your music career, it's like it's a really true representation of not only your guitar ability but your vocal ability.
Yeah.
And if you look at the projects that she's been involved in since before even I was in the scene, like Velvet Vinyl, and then her own solo stuff before I became involved. It represents such a monumental growth in ability, but also musical awareness, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I
definitely.
think I gotta praise you for
definitely.
that, because it's not easy for a lot of people to do.
Yeah. I feel like it was a lot of confidence too. Like I didn't have the confidence to try and add more to my music.
It's
you
more,
know?
it's,
just
it's
like-
more like people don't want to, and I'm not saying you, a lot of
Mhm.
people don't want to comply with what has already been set in stone. And this
Mhm.
is how everything has been going.
Yeah.
So instead of you going like, I'm not going to fucking try that, it's for
Yeah.
you to go like, you know what? AC/DC was so fucking simple chord. And you just
You
understand.
know what? You know what it is about AC/DC is that their chords are simple, but it's the rhythm. It's the rhythm of the actual riff that drives the fucking song, dude.
Yeah.
So like,
There's, I guess, like everybody plateaus, you know, and you gotta try and like, okay, you're good, you got good at this, but you can do better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah.
so
Right, guy?
one
Right,
thing
Danny?
one thing that I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about too is your guys' jewelry making.
Yes,
How long
yes,
have you guys been
definitely.
doing that for?
It's been about a year now.
About a year.
About a
actually.
year
What
started.
inspired that?
Well, just gems are amazing. And
Can you guys
I-
make me a ring that says Thug Life?
yeah, you know what? Let's do it. No.
Our stories are a little different because what brought me to it, I think, is a little bit different than what brought Liz to it. I think I just got in this mode where I started reading a lot more about different kinds of philosophies and started getting into like a magical approach to like a real world situations, and I started really like taking it in, and then I started thinking about this concept of energy and the manipulation of energy and how crystals naturally do that. So I think it just kind of sparked this curiosity in me to understand, why and what exactly it was talking about. But then I learned that, every crystal has like its own geometric pattern to where it self-replicates. And that self-replicating geometric pattern has a lot to do with how it absorbs and transfers light.
Yep.
Right?
Nice.
So light being that pure form of energy, it kind of made me a believer, like, okay, yeah, like I get it now. Like I see why you would say that. And I started experimenting.
When people think of crystals, they think it's just this solid thing that doesn't have energy.
Yeah.
But it does, and it's like it's proven. There's like minerals and things that just grow in them that cause certain reactions, and they're just they're good.
So like those.
I feel like it's a similar approach as well.
Yeah, you learn a lot about the environment that certain crystals and gems form in, and it tells you a lot about their background. And she got involved in wire wrapping and making jewelry, whereas
That's cool.
I was always kind of
I
like
hope you guys brought mine. You guys brought it?
I
Or
was
you
just
guys-
telling him on
Yeah.
the way. I was like, we were in such a hurry. I didn't bring it.
Oh, man.
What
But
did
I'll
what
get
did
it to
Jess
you.
end up making?
Okay.
Okay, what do you guys
I
feel?
made this one. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't wire
Oh,
wrap
that's
it or
nice.
anything, but I made the chain and then this little opal.
Opal guy?
dude.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So-
She does more of the
The
wire
wire
wrapping,
wrapping,
like
yeah.
the actual creating of it. Me, I handle the
So-
social media, the website, the shop, all that
So
kind
if
of stuff.
if someone wanted to get something from you, where would they go to?
They could either go to featherlakegems.wixsite.com.
If you can, send me the link and I'll go ahead and add it to the
I
description.
What's on the
will.
bottom?
Of
Okay.
course, we also have Feather Lake Gems as our Instagram and also a Facebook page as well.
Cool.
So do you guys feel like, for instance, you know how they came out with those copper bands that go around your hand? They help you?
Yeah.
Do those really help?
They do.
Why?
Definitely.
The copper,
It's a grounding mechanism.
it's I'm trying to remember what exactly is in it that helps like your
It
the
expands the blood vessels. It acts as a vasodilator, pretty much. It allows more blood to pass through, and like every breath that you take, it delivers more oxygen to your body. But you have to realize for that though, like our blood, everything that we have in it has like trace elements of every element in the periodic table. So there's nothing that you can wear, there's nothing that you can put on
Everything's
yourself
hot,
that
'cause
isn't
everything's
going
weird.
to react with you in some way.
Because we conduct
Because we have
electricity.
because the capacity to absorb that is already in us.
Nice.
It's like the endocannabinoid system we have, and
Yeah.
people are always trying to be like,
That's
well, it's,
that's the thing about marijuana. It has cannabinoids.
yeah, and like we're trying,
millions of them. Yeah.
yeah, like we're trying to
Fucking potheads.
Dude, it's a tripped out thing, man. You gotta venture out. You can't be
can't.
scared of that. You
can't.
gotta put that fucking mirror in front of
He
you.
knows
bro,
I can't
and see
smoke
your
weed. He
flaws,
knows
man.
I
That's what
can't
it
smoke
does.
weed, and he's always fucking trying to push me to do
Well,
it.
there's a way to do it, and
Well, there's four-
you know how
Yeah,
you're supposed to do it, and
I
you
know,
don't.
but
so.
I can't. No, I do try, but I can't. It just
But
doesn't
yeah,
work.
we're made to absorb it. We're made to,
Yeah.
internalize it. But it's become something. I got my own beliefs. We've been lied to about a lot of shit.
Oh fuck
Yeah,
yeah, dude!
yeah.
It's
And,
it's
like,
amazing
weed-
what we've been lied to.
Weed is one of those things, man. Like for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's cool. Then you guys are doing that. That's really cool.
I wanted to also mention about Liz's music is that she's one of the acoustic solo artists that also writes original music in Spanish too.
Yeah.
I
So-
don't think I've ever heard any.
Yeah,
yeah, I have
she's
some
got-
songs in
she's got some
Spanish.
songs in Spanish too.
I haven't recorded anything yet. I have on YouTube YouTube.
Damn, girl. She throws Spanish real.
I started
Hold on.
thinking
Really
in
quick.
Spanish. I don't know.
calma.
That happens.
Porque sabe que
I know,
llaman
right?
a YouTube.
I-
Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
Es que
No, it was an accident. I'm sorry. I
Okay,
started
este
thinking
punto,
like in
ya vamos a
Spanish
cambiar
and
a
shit,
español.
and then like
You're
the
thinking about-
accent came out.
You're thinking about you're
Oh my
entertaining people in
God.
Spanish, and you're
No,
like,
pues en
En
el
YouTube.
MySpace.
No.
¿sabes
No, I
qué? Me
have a-
puedes conseguir en Facebook.
En el Face.
En mi profile. No, I have a song in my
Estamos en WhatsApp.
YouTube. In
Oh
WhatsApp.
shit! Don't even get me started about that,
Oh.
dude. We always talk about this.
Yeah,
but
no.
anyways, go
Sorry,
ahead.
let her continue,
It's okay.
please.
No, it's okay. No, I have songs in Spanish. I just haven't recorded them and actually put them out. But I do have one on YouTube, and that's an original. But yeah, as long as I do have the songs, and I do write in Spanish.
I've heard
But
of
I
it.
just need to. I
I've
need to
heard you
actually put it
perform.
out there.
Just
you
try a
know?
little bit. Yeah, just
Yeah.
push them out. Yeah. that's
Now, what's your process? Like, how do you know a song's going to be in Spanish or not? For us, we know it's going to be in Spanish most of the time because it's a cumbia.
Because it's a cumbia.
Sometimes we can do cumbia in English too because we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah,
but
Right.
but I mean, for you, you're still playing in the same genre, but you're making a conscious decision whether it's going to be Spanish or English.
Yeah, it's usually just the lyrics or whatever I'm feeling at the moment.
Cool.
It's like,
Yeah,
That's cool.
I can understand.
So if Damian doesn't mind, I'll be down to put some bass on that.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, hell yeah.
We've done,
Oh yeah, if you want to add some vocals to something we're doing, that'd be fucking awesome too.
Really, for
that'd
sure,
be
man.
dope.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't we just start like a fucking Mars Volta type?
Let's do it.
We know Damien can fucking slap it up like
Oh, yeah.
that, you know?
Again,
I mean, Damian's a phenomenal guitar player too, man.
Yeah, but I didn't know that you were a bass player as well.
Well,
like I
dude,
said.
when I
Yeah.
started playing bass, actually, my first band I played bass with was Foxy Mojo.
Oh shit, Foxy Mojo. Damn,
yeah.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, so I was in Foxy for about a year, and our first show together was actually Street Fest.
Shit.
Yeah, and a funny story about that was that we were under so much time pretty much to rehearse and learn it for me, you know, because I was the only new member at the show. We only had like 45 minutes of material, but our set time was like an hour and a half. But we ended up getting rained out.
Oh,
We ended-
Oh fuck, that's the
But
worst.
we ended up getting like
The
rained out,
universe
like,
helped you out.
right after the last song that we knew. So we were just gonna like planning on ad-libbing some shit. And then I started playing bass with Mountain Vibes. It was used to be a band with Steven Molina and Abraham Marelareña. Used to do that, and then it just went from there to something that I would always fuck around with. I started learning bass as an instrument, like actually learning it when I started with Foxy, because before, even with guitar, like I taught myself the chords, but I wasn't really interested in scales. I wasn't interested in theory, so a lot of what I played was very superficial at the time.
Yeah.
Going into learning bass as an instrument, I felt like I had an understanding of, you know, not only the music, but what goes into the music.
Exactly.
The guitarists from these bands would come over and be like, all right, well, let's just jam. You know, I'm in A, you know, I'm in A minor. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
I
in,
couldn't do that.
you know, so that was something that
Yeah.
I couldn't do either. But
But
like,
the
I
but
developed
the
that.
cool thing about this guy is his ear's
I'll
fucking
find it.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I'll
dude.
find
It's-
it. But
it's
if you
awesome.
tell me you're
That's
an
dope.
A,
Like,
if you tell me you're an
quick
A, I
and,
won't
like-
find. I
I'm
won't
the same
know.
way.
Yeah.
I know because like
But I'll find
I
it.
can find it on a keyboard. Like anything you're playing on a keyboard, I can find it. But I don't know. Like you can't tell me like, oh, play an A, play an C,
Are
whatever,
we gonna
E
rock
minor.
this in
And
B
it's
flat?
like-
You're like,
But I'm like,
It even
okay.
kicked up further when
With
Juan
the
asked
guitar,
me
I'm a little bit better
when
at
Juan
that,
asked
but-
me to be in Shot Kixxx because he had no idea I was a bassist.
They're originally from Juarez?
No,
Or-
they're from
are
here.
they originally
yeah,
from
it was
El Paso?
originally
Sweet.
I want to say 4 or 5 piece. Maybe Daniel Paulus, who's now working for KLAQ. He has his own show on KLAQ. He was a drummer. I forget the name right now. Anyway, they had 3 other members, and they were just all like super talented, and they would all switch instruments during their shows. So like it was always
Lorenzo?
Lorenzo, and then.
I think at this point we're like that. I think we could, if we wanted to, we could all switch. And
But the music level that he kind of brought me into was so far above anything that I else had ever done.
Yeah.
But he was very graceful with me. He made tabs, you know, like he would go to the recordings and he would solo the root from, you know, just the bass.
Yeah.
And pretty much from there, all I did was literally sit in my closet and I fucking went at it for hours. You
work
know,
at
like,
it, yeah.
But I mean, dude,
all,
like,
all it takes is one day, and if you put like a lot of fucking hours into one day, you could learn a lot.
yeah, and I'm telling
Yeah.
you, man, like
It's
there
all
were
about
like,
will.
Yeah.
I learned
Definitely.
I learned
Fuck yeah.
the slap technique. There was like 30-second notes on that shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like.
Well, you said will for me was Adderall.
Well,
Oh yeah.
Mine was Adderall. Yeah, so
Yeah, I think
it helps. I
it
mean,
really
whatever
works.
helps.
Yeah.
Did you ever
For
get
sure.
the pleasure of hearing Mexicans at night?
no.
With Rafa and
Oh
I
Roca.
heard a
my
lot
Lord.
about them. 'Cause,
Yeah, we used to play with them all the time.
So I bought the band. We bought the band from Roca,
Yeah.
but Roca would come out to shows, and then before he made Sancho Villa, he would come and he would tell my drummer, "Hey, all I want is your kick, your snare, and your I'm sorry,
Yeah.
all I want is your kick and your floor tom
Mhm.
and your hi hat. That's it. That's all I need."
Yeah.
And then he would get the floor tom and he would just tune it really, really high. And if you ever heard Mexicans at night, you'd
Yeah.
be like, "What the shit?"
They were a 2-piece too, but they're
I
know.
only ever really heard a lot about them when I was first getting into like trying to play live shows back when I was
Oh.
like 21.
They were like
It was
so
like-
big when I was around.
I didn't know a lot about them, but Jose
Stupid Rafa were the little I
that
think he's
does like the Buena Vida.
Mhm.
I was getting shows through him, and he told me about them and like with all the
So
like,
basically,
music
what
scene and
Rafa would
stuff.
do was he
Love
would
that
put
guy.
his vocals. It would be a mic going into a little amplifier, so it sounded kind of like a
telephony.
blowhorn. Yeah,
Like
kind of
No,
telephone.
kind of like a bullhorn. Like
yeah,
uh,
like
sound real staticky.
Dudes.
like from the Strokes. The guy does pretty much the
but
same
he
shit.
had
Yeah,
like,
but it was
but,
so
but
badass.
Rafa has a very high voice too, and they had this like cool kind of Santana kind of really because it was like a Latin groove and he would like just do like a crazy riff and they just keep
Nice.
going and keep
But-
going and keep going.
But Rafa would do like his bass lines, and then he would add little notes like like it was super good. I wish you guys would have been able to experience them. They were fucking
And then
awesome.
then Rafa went on and made Get the Honey.
Oh, I knew that band
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I
Get
played
the
with
Honey
Get the Honey
was-
before. So I mean, the bands that were big when I came into the scene, like when I first started going to shows, bands like Biscuit Roller, Call for Candor, The Other Half when they were the 4-piece.
Never heard any of
You
them.
never heard of them?
No, in the East Side
I
we
think
don't
we're-
hear about
I think
anything.
we're-
going
No,
on
like
over there.
these are people that would play at Lowbrow Palace all the time.
What are you guys, West Siders or Central?
We've moved all over the place. We're all of El Paso.
Honestly, like
Just
if I have to
kidding.
be honest, you know,
I
I
was-
moved to El Paso in 2007, and
Where are you from?
I was in a military family, so I
Oh,
mean,
you're a military brat.
so
yeah.
I never spent like more than 2 or 3 years in one place. And the city that I was born in, like we didn't even live there. We were like on our way to somewhere else, you know. So like my birth town doesn't really mean
Anything.
Yeah.
Where
too
were you
much.
born?
I want to say Nassau Bay, Texas. So I am a Texan.
Wow.
All right,
But,
Nice.
yeah.
I was born in Riverside, California,
Nice.
and I came
I've
over
been
here when
there.
I was 12.
That's
yeah.
cool.
And
No.
it's funny because one of the singers that apparently I sound a lot like, Hope Sandoval,
Hope
or whatever.
Sandoval.
Like a lot of people tell me that you sound similar to her. She's from there too.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, what a funny little coincidence or
Yeah.
whatever.
I went and played out there in Riverside with Chuzma one time, man. We opened up for this band called Quinto Sol, and they were huge. They're kind of up there with Tribal Seeds, really, man. People are like, yeah, you know, they're kind of like Tribal Seeds, but a little bit more Latin influence. And we went up there, dude, and I remember it was like one of the first times I ever really played and went on tour with Chuzma. And
It's beautiful there. It's
yeah,
so cool.
we played in this. We played in a tobacco bar.
Oh shit.
The tobacco
Tobacco.
tin or something like that in Riverside. And so Quinto Sol goes up and they start jamming, dude. They're awesome. And then at the end, like they bring up Ernie and Ernie starts like doing his thing. And then they bring up Marco. And then the bass player looks at me and he's like, here, man, come and play. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. And he's like, yeah, come on. And so like we all like just meshed and we all just started jamming. It was like the craziest thing, man. Like
What like once
Riverside.
once we all got into the cumbias and the reggae shit, like it was just a life change.
It
for
was
everybody.
supernatural. I think we
It was weird at the
got into it
beginning.
really fast.
I didn't know what I was doing, and we took a lot of influence.
Cumbias are just like, I love cumbias, dude.
You're
Like,
the
they're just
opposite.
like,
You gotta
I
flip
wanna-
everything.
I am not a dancer.
Yeah.
I don't like to dance, but
Me
when I
neither
hear
are we.
cumbias, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll dance.
Yeah.
I'll dance, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
it's just
So, yeah.
something. It's something that we decided consciously to do because we kind of felt like it was.
I think
more
it was
roots for
subconsciously,
us.
no? Maybe.
Yeah.
I think at the beginning because you had Reina and you had that kind of like Latin influence.
He
kind
had
of in a way.
he had
But
bad
I-
guy.
I-
I'm a
like,
bad guy.
You had it mixed with like a rock and roll type vibe, so I don't know if that's what you
Well,
were going for. That's how it ended up.
Reina was my attempt at writing a Mexicans at Night song. Because when I would play with Mexicans at Night at Lucky Devils,
Oh,
I was like,
keep in mind that Reina
I
comes from
remember
the Blue
going
Throne
to
Poet
those, like,
times.
For my first like actual shows that I went to. Oh, Yeah, when I was like in high school still, or like middle school even, I went to Lucky Doubles with friends, and I was not in the music scene. I enjoyed music. I didn't really ever write my song first. Oh, I didn't have a song written or anything when I went there. But yeah, I remember I went to see. Oh my God, why can't I remember? The ska band.
You got
Fixed Idea.
to
Fixed
carry that
Idea.
emo type.
Yeah.
Fixed Idea.
Yeah.
So I would see them, and like a bunch of just like ska bands, and it was cool.
I when I got really close to Mexicans at Night, I was thinking that's El Paso sound. That is fucking what El Paso is. Like, yes, we love rock and we like our Latin roots, but that's what El Paso sounds like. So I attempted to write a song in my way, you know, kind of with that in mind, and that's when I wrote that song Reina. So we would play it like in a calypso.
That's
But then
cool.
It sounded different.
When we started the Chucanos, we decided to do it in cumbia instead, and we changed it.
That's crazy.
And,
I remember having a moment like that when I thought about, you know, the sound of El Paso, and it was all those old electric social bands, you know, like If We Were Turtles, you know, Trost House, bands like that. It was kind of like the new wave kind of electro rock kind of thing, where every band had like a keyboardist, you know. That was what it was for me. That's interesting.
If like if I would have to think of something that like is mainstream, that would sound like El Paso, I don't know. But like this guy, something
Damian
Batman.
Wilds?
No,
I know who you're talking
Are you
about.
talking about Chicano?
Batman?
Chicano
Yeah,
Batman.
Yeah.
Well, they're from California.
Are they?
I would say that's
Yeah.
kind of similar to El Paso.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
It's like
Mainstream. Yeah, they definitely are mainstream. It's just I always trip out in the fact that depending on what side of town you live on and where you technically operate the most, there's just totally different musicians. Like, it's very rare that we would ever run into you guys or anything like that while we're playing at Mulligan's or while we're playing, somewhere on the east side and stuff. Like, I didn't know about everybody else until I joined Chusma. Then I started seeing all the other people that have been doing a lot of work out there, like on the west side and downtown and central and northeast. So like when we're talking about like different groups and stuff like that, like when you remember like what's a biscuit roller, you know, I think like, oh well, we had like Fungi Mungle, and there was like there was like whiskey sour. What was whiskey sour?
Are you talking about the whiskey? They were a cover group. Whiskey
Remember
sour.
them?
And then they became
And 202.
Abby Normal. Yes.
Yeah, and 202
So,
and
yeah,
all that.
that-
So
that's
we
when
had
we
like
were
different groups like
younger.
that we were like just trying to like we were trying to get along with, and then you guys were already doing your own thing, doing something totally different on the other side of town. And it's just like it always trips me out when I sit down with you guys, because like I can hang out with you guys, and I do hang out with you guys, and we've done, you know, we all have like our own little memories together.
Right.
And then I'll go back, and then I'll go back with my. Yeah, I went to your house like a couple of times. You were drunk, but right, Liz? We went in the nighttime, and this guy's like, it was. We were all drunk, but then I'll go back on the east side, and then we got like Elotix guys, and we got like Vibes Arise guys, and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Let's see. So what I always I talked to Martin from Voyeur.
oh, there you go, Voyeur.
1,000
Voyeur was a
times.
huge band.
1,000 times.
Well, it's because we were more on the metal side of this.
Yeah, and so I talked to him a million times about it, and then before South Stage 9 came out,
Yeah, with Roger.
Yeah.
I kind of
I
blew
worked
that.
there for a
I
little
kind of
bit.
blew the idea.
Did you?
Well,
We used to practice their adrenaline.
well, I kind of blew the
Yeah.
idea at him before he started the shit, right? I was like, hey, dude, I'd love to have a place. And then, of course, obviously, he had
sense.
the capital to do it, and that was great, whatever. But I always talked to Martin from Voyeur about it. And I said, what if we were to just get all these musicians, put them in one room, and then say, okay, guys, we're going to put out an album, and then you mix it up. Vocalist, bass player, guitar player, whatever. All right, here's a 4. Go do something. And then another 4. Go do something. And another 4. Go. You know what I mean? Until you get,
Yeah.
like, a good 16 groups together that are
Yeah.
all mixed up. Like, you're not allowed to be with somebody you've been with before.
Yeah.
And you just go
That's
like,
really cool.
let's
Yeah.
run it and let's see if we can make something. That'd be fucking amazing. Could you
That'd be
imagine the shit that would come out of people? Like,
For sure.
because, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
Well-
no one's ever done that.
For instance, like we've done performances like that. Damian and Liz and I, like, we'll do like acoustic performances in the backyard. Shout out to our good friend Rosie. She's super awesome.
She's amazing.
And she'll make these backyard shows where we all go up and we all just do like a few songs and stuff, and then we could all collaborate and just like do whatever. And
Legit
stuff.
like festivals, though,
Like-
like by any definition of the word. You know what I
Absolutely,
mean?
man.
She did the Mac Fest. She
the
was
Mac
doing.
Fest, yeah.
She started off doing this in her backyard,
Yeah.
and she would get people just do
And even that, bro, that was
15
such
minute
a-
set or 10
Nobody
minute.
was
And,
doing
But,
it.
and she was still like trying to pay us and stuff. And we're
I
like,
know,
She-
right?
yeah.
She did.
And she's really great at putting things together. She's a great musician as well. She has a
yes, and
she
she's a great
has-
singer.
yeah, great
She's
singer.
got Eep now, right?
She has Eep. Yeah.
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 They're like a shoegaze.
Yeah, the
type of-
shoegaze, yeah. And it's so cool talking with her. But we played these very unique shows, like these backyard shows, these kind of like house party shows.
Those are
Have
fun
you-
sometimes.
Have you
yeah.
done Nature House yet?
with Sergio.
With Serge from the
Sergio,
Under.
You know, we were scheduled to. We were scheduled to in June with Serge, and then all this stuff went down. But
Yeah.
yeah, Chucanos was gonna go out there too.
Man, both of the times
I
I
have
played
to
there
go
was
to
pretty
the
much
restroom.
just like it was an impromptu, like some act canceled, and Javi would
Okay.
just be like, "Hey, dude, you got like 30 minutes." I'm like, "Okay," but yeah, that's one of the
And
honestly
that type of stuff going on like that, like we definitely like we need to keep pushing that and like letting everybody know about that, because we just need to turn this scene into what it deserves to be, a little bit more popular, because there's a lot of great talent. And this is what we're trying to do with this podcast, is show that there is a lot of great talent here. You guys take us for granted. You guys don't want to fucking like find out who we are, what we're trying to do. We're all the way in on this stuff, and
I'm
we're
pretty sure
representing you
everybody-
guys.
You know what it is too? I think like Cali Q, and they all have like a hold on everybody's ear, and like it's like if you're not famous, nobody wants to fucking know you. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, you don't have like
Oh, you're not Khalid, you're not BJ Pando.
yeah,
Oh,
you don't
okay,
have
cool.
fucking 6,000 subscribers. Well,
I
fuck
thi-
you guys.
And I
like-
think by now,
Yeah,
everybody that's
I
been
know
going
that.
through everybody's going through the whole COVID.
We're all hurting,
The
you know.
run. I bet you, and I'm sure that everybody's like, God, I can't wait to get out there and watch a cover band again, or watch a band come out and just
I hope.
play the
simple things,
originals, man. Like,
Because I mean, I've seen El Paso's, seen kind of like I've seen it grow. I've seen it take steps back. I've seen it struggle. We used to have some really fucking good shit out here for not just local musicians but traveling musicians that
Yeah.
Could have brought
Oh, yeah.
the traffic. I don't know if you guys remember Outpost City, or if you'd ever been there
Yeah.
before. Man, that was so great. Like Christian Yanez, he would host like these workshops once a month that would bring all the musicians together, and we would talk about these concepts that would help us progress, not only in our music but in our career. And there's a lot of other things since then, like that have gone away, that it kind of makes me miss it. You know what I mean?
We went to a workshop like that when we were kids. Was it me and you guy, or me and you, Didi? We went to go to a workshop in the Silos with Jim Ward and Mike Major, and they were doing like this whole like how to be a musician, how to get your stuff recorded, what to do, the right stuff to do. Mike Major started with At the Drive-In and all that stuff, and he became a highly successful engineer / producer. And Jim Ward was there like to talk about like any questions that we had as musicians and stuff like that. You don't remember that?
No.
You don't remember? You don't remember going with me, guy?
I don't remember that.
Out there in the
I
silos?
might have, but
I
it
mean,
was
if you
probably
could talk in the
so-
mic, guy.
I don't remember that.
All right.
I lay dormant. I fucking.
Since then, though, the work that Star City Studios has done with the music community around here, I think, has really been phenomenal. Eric Bozeman has brought together a forum to where I think even it was out of Star City Studios that the El Paso International Music Foundation had been, generated, was through there.
Yeah.
So at the same time, I see the El Paso scene moving up, but
Yeah.
it's not necessarily the same hands that brought it to this stage or progressing it forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I think that once we return to a little bit of state of normalcy after the whole quarantine and the social distancing thing is kind of lifted, I think it's going to be a really, really cool, crazy thing.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see that wave kind of come back.
That's what we're hoping for, man. I mean, because like we our band had to
It's
make a
petrifying,
podcast
yeah.
just because we were like, we don't know when we're ever gonna play again.
Yeah,
We
it's
don't
like,
know
what do we do?
So we don't know how to stay relevant. We don't know how to. I mean, we can. What are you gonna do? We're gonna try to go into the studio. Well, how's that gonna work with the whole Corona situation? All that. That's a little tough.
And I think it's the best time to do it though, because everybody's trying to stay away. And like, if everybody were just to produce their own thing and do their own thing and just put it down right now, could you imagine the outcome in a couple months when everything's over?
That's what I'm saying.
kind
The
of shit
influx
would
of
be
people that are going to be
out?
like
Yeah.
hungry for that kind of thing.
Yeah,
That
like,
we
people
got
are
so
hungry
used
right
to it.
now.
We got so used to it that there were
Yeah,
all
it was
these
the
bands
norm.
playing on
Yeah,
any
it was
given
the
night.
norm. You could just go to any fucking bar and there was a band.
Yeah,
playing.
and bands would end up losing fans because like you guys play like 3 times a fucking week. Like,
Yeah.
Jacob's always been about that. Jacob's always been about trying to do it once a month.
Guy.
Jacob's always been like, let's do it once a month because you guys we're doing it too much and
And
for
it
sure,
does
it's a
happen.
free shit,
It
yeah.
happens. Like
But
if you
the
play
reason-
too often, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
and the
next time.
reason why this is going to be healthy because it's going to force those musicians who did do that it's going to force them to think in a different way if they want to continue to grow. It's going to you have to, like you said, you have to adapt.
Yeah.
You have to find out ways that you're still going to be irrelevant. You have to find out ways you can still outreach. And I think with Shot Kixxx, why I'm so grateful that I'm in this band and this project now,
Bad.
is that we've found ways to, even in this pandemic, we're filming, we're putting out exceptional video content that's been consumed by people worldwide, and I'm just excited for, like you said,
It's very good, dude. I'm honestly, congratulations. It sounds awesome as shit. It's something different.
But that's how it happened for us to stay relevant. You know what I mean? We started the podcast like you had mentioned. That's I think that's a good way for people to get to know us, just like Jake wanted, and that was a fucking awesome vision, and I'm happy you did that.
Thanks,
and
man.
He brought it to our attention, and then one day I will go walk up to him. I was like, dude, let's do this fucking podcast, man.
We all
Let's
did.
do it, man.
When we first started,
Little by little.
the very first podcast was like one of our little old busted mixers,
But like
we
little
just
by
sat
little,
there,
this dude
we
was
were
like
scared.
lurking in the background, fucking gathering fucking microphones and cameras and shit, just slowly like gathering, like scheming and shit. It's just like you gotta play chess with this guy, man. He's like a couple steps ahead, and it's just like, damn, I gotta keep up.
I'm a big podcast listener. Like I listen to over 20 podcasts a week and stuff.
Wow.
And I know that it's a big thing. It might not be too huge here in El Paso. It's big here, but it's not too huge. But I mean, all around America, like they're listening to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And for me, I always loved when my favorite bands came out with DVDs like Korn or Deftones or
It was
Illegal.
always inspiring. Yeah, we would watch them together.
I would watch
fucking
those
get all
videos because
inspired, man.
I'd love to see.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear them just talk or
Nino.
get to know them or
exactly.
be silly.
No,
So I'm like, this is gonna show. Look, these are my friends. This is Liz
Yeah.
Tina. This is Damian Gray. These guys are fucking
It's just like
awesome.
you get
Look
to
how
know us on
awesome
a
they
personal
are.
level.
Go to their fucking shows. Go on their fucking Facebooks and
Yeah.
everything. Quit being fucking bitches. This is what this fucking podcast is for.
explore your
Yeah,
fucking
man.
You know?
surroundings. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Don't that's what it is. It's just like everybody's trapped at the fucking bars with the stupid ass music. I mean, I listen to that music too. I mean, don't be wrong, but
Yeah.
it's just like, dude, like get out of that. You know what I mean? Like find
It's
what's
junk
local.
food, man.
You know what I mean?
It's
It's just
Find something new,
Yeah,
be
pretty
a part
much.
of a movement instead
Yeah.
of just
Yeah.
staying
Don't
in the
act
same.
like when
'Cause
it
we
gets
got-
big.
Oh,
now
that
wanna
you
be a
were
part of
there,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because in El Paso, I noticed, it's like DJs get paid more than actual
All of
bands,
us,
yeah.
and all
Yeah.
they do is play songs that are not theirs.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with
And,
it, but we're just saying it should be a little bit more equal. But
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that because music's music.
But
Though.
I think I mean, not to get on a conspiracy level, you know what I mean, but it's a grander scheme than that. I think it's it's at a higher level than what we could maybe.
it's just basically, do people know your music?
I agree.
yeah.
Do people know your music? Like-
there's going to be that surface level of what you're fed versus if
Yeah.
you're hungry for something
It's-
better
it's-
or
it's
different,
force-fed, you know
you're
what I
gonna
mean?
Have to,
I don't know if you guys are too familiar with Tekashi 6ix9ine, you know what I mean? But
Okay, yeah.
he outed Ariana Grande. You know, there's credit cards behind her success. You know what I mean? It's just like you could pay these fucking record labels to play your music.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like
and you can pay for downloads and you,
you
can
know,
pay for
like-
streams.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
all
yeah,
of a
definitely.
sudden, you
It
paid
does-
to be number one on the Billboard.
Right.
It matters. Like the money's like always gonna win
of course, yeah.
because that's what pays everybody's bills. Like
Yeah. But it's and it's the worst part about it. It's a lot of like junk. You know what I mean? We're listening to a lot of bullshit. A lot of materialistic shit. A lot of get
A lot
drunk.
of
A lot of
there's-
get high.
yeah.
A lot of pop these pills and bullshit. You know what I mean? Which I listen to the music too. But at the same time, I'm aware of what they're saying. I'm just like,
Right.
You know,
There's no
like-
sustenance,
right.
man. Sometimes
You know
there's
what
no
and it gets out to
sustenance.
the youth, and it's showing
Yeah.
something that's like This
And
is not
you know what the weirdest thing about it is that while we were growing up too, we were always warned about this. You know, our parents were always like, you know, what are you listening to? Stop watching that. You know what I mean? They were always aware of that shit, and it's just like, I guess it just keeps bleeding over to the next generation, and it's kind of sad, you know.
Well, I think it makes it even more gratifying when a local band does, you know, finally make it into the scene, because there is this glass ceiling, man, that people look up and they think that the sky's the limit, but it's really not. You know,
Exactly.
It's identifying those setbacks that are purposefully put there.
It's the grass is greener type.
It's almost like a challenge, you know,
Yeah.
like if you want this, all right, we'll show that you're different, you know, do different shit. You know, Elliot Hulse said that every new phase of your life is going to demand a different version of yourself.
Yeah,
you know,
that's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, every time that you progress, you're going to have to be you, but a stronger version of you in order to maintain it. And it's just like anything else.
I love that, man. It's
Okay.
beautiful.
Yeah, I definitely love that. On that note, guys, do you guys have anything else that you guys want to mention or plug or just remind everybody, you know, before we go ahead and say goodbye? For now, this is part one of you guys.
Can I do the Bob Barker, have your pet spayed or neutered?
How about we do the paper scissors rock right now?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Who
shit.
gets
That
to
way
keep
there's
the
no
hat?
confusion. It's recorded.
Yeah.
It's official, and Jake can get mad when I'm wearing that pink.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention before you guys do that, though,
Go ahead.
we do have shirts for sale. We do have these
There we
hats
go.
for sale,
There
you
we
know,
go.
to anybody else who wants to, you know, maybe get in on it.
Do you
Send me
have
the
a
link, then
link
I'll put
for
I'll
it,
put it
or
on the description.
You could find us on Facebook. We got Instagram at HSK Band. You know, anywhere we're on social media, you can find us.
And also jewelry.
Oh yeah, do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, it helps out. It works. I really believe in that. Yeah.
guys, thanks a lot for coming down and hanging out with us here on the Chucano podcast. Thank you guys so much for everything you guys do, man. You guys are fucking great. You guys are great musicians. You guys are doing it right, and you know, I'm a real fan of both of you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
May your fans be many. May your shows be plenty. You know.
Same to you.
And
Same to you
we'll
guys.
get you guys on
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
some other time. If you guys anytime you guys drop anything, come on down,
Oh,
man. We'll
man,
get
all
another
the time.
episode in,
all
and
the time. Yeah.
you know
Fuck yeah.
we'll talk about fucking conspiracy theories or you know
Yeah.
or some shit. You
I'm
know.
down.
Oh, it gets deep. We get deep.
We're
But,
gonna say aliens next time.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah, this time we did spirits. Next time's
Yeah.
aliens. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Hell yeah.
We'll catch you guys
Alright.
next time.
Ladies.
So you guys are more than welcome to stay. You guys